Hi. Hello. I just want to do a sound check. Can you hear me? Is the audio okay? Okay, good. Lovely. I'd like to see who's here this morning. I don't know if anybody's here this morning or if you're expecting me. Just a moment. I've got to somehow the sound has come on here. I'm going to have to change this. Okay. Good. Good. All right. So I am, you were expecting somebody else. I'm so sorry. I'm Karen and I am doing Ben Fang's session because he's unable or she's unable, I'm not sure, to get here. And so I am doing their session. So welcome. And yeah, it's lovely to see you. I'll be doing another thing on collocations later on. So I'll just go through the articles, the English articles again. We'll add new material though. Hi, Adisa. Where are you from? It's lovely to see lots of new people. And I think it's fantastic if we interact as much as possible. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the slides. Okay. So, all right. There we go. We'll show the slides in a minute. So let me know how you are. Let me know what the weather's like. You can see it's nice and chilly here in Johannesburg in South Africa. And I'm looking forward to being with you, and I'm looking forward to knowing you and getting to know everything there is to know about you. Not everything there is to know about you, but everything there is to know about the English language. Bosnia, okay, good. Liberato, sounds like you might be. Barta from Poland, good. Lovely. It's good to see you. Liberato, where are you from? I guess either Spain or Italy. I'm not sure. It'll be lovely to see you all and know where you're from. So let me start, if you don't mind, with the slides. The slides should be showing now. Okay. Let's just, some of you have not been with us before, as far as I can tell. But here, we're just going to go through the English articles, okay? Sometimes that can be difficult. Even for Spanish and Italian people, it's slightly different. So do listen carefully and ask questions and participate, okay? So a or an is used before countable nouns. Paolo from Brazil, wow, good to see you. All right, a or an is used before countable nouns, so you can count them, okay? So the flowers in the garden are countable. You can count the number of flowers normally. If it's above a certain number, we call that uncountable, okay? But forget about that. Normally you can count them. And then flour, you know, the wheat flour that you make bread with, that's not countable. You can't count the little grains of flour. That's impossible. Okay, it might be by microscope or something, but no, you can't count the little grains. Okay. Good. Let's go on to, then the next thing, is used before consonant sounds. Okay, be careful, not just consonants, but consonant sounds. All right, and means one. Okay, and obviously an is used before vowel sounds, not before vowels necessarily, although often it's vowels, but it's vowel sounds. Okay. Okay, so let's give some examples. I have an owl as a pet. The O is a vowel sound. So is a vowel sound. O, owl, an owl as a pet. Okay. Then I'd like a pizza for lunch. Always a pizza. Okay. When you're talking about one. When you're talking about the type of food, you would say, I'd like pizza for lunch, okay? So you're talking about the type of food. But if you're talking about a pizza, then you say All right. I have urgent need of a hospital. Can you see H is actually a consonant? Okay, so we say hospital. Now, there are parts of England where you can say an hospital because they don't say their H's, okay? So just be aware of that. It's going to take an hour to get there. Can you see that it also begins with an H, but the sound, we don't say the H, the sound is a vowel sound. Hour, sorry, hour. Okay, do you get it? I hope so. Let me know if it's okay so far. Do you have a euro? Yeah, here is a consonant sound. So euro. Do you have a euro? All right, even though euro begins with an E. But we say an excellent pizza, a beautiful owl. Now, can anyone tell me why? Let's see if you can guess. Write it in the comments. If you can't, it's not a problem. But let's see if you can guess, why do we say an excellent pizza? Pizza is the noun and it's a consonant. And a beautiful owl, owl is the noun and it begins with a vowel. So why do we say that? Let's see if you can get it. Okay. Haven't seen the answer yet, but let's give it to you anyway. The adjective is important. So if the adjective begins with a vowel, the article is an. If the adjective begins with a consonant, the article is a. Okay, so it's the adjective. An excellent pizza. Because excellent begins with E, which is a vowel, we say an. Whether the pizza's begins with a consonant or not. I hope that's very clear. If it's not, ask me to repeat it, okay? Right, we're going to go very in-depth with this, by the way, so it's quite, sorry, there are a couple of, it skipped a couple of things. There. Yeah, there we go. We're going to go quite in-depth. We're starting off simply, but things can get a little bit complicated, okay? So with uncountable nouns, a and the, well, the sometimes we'll go into different things, but when you're meaning one, you always use a or the. Uncountable nouns, there's no a or an or the, okay? So things like air, all right? Love, honesty, information, advice, science, all of these are uncountable. You cannot count them. It's a very more of an abstract concept, isn't it? It's not a physical thing that you can count. All right, I think that should be fairly clear. Air is all around us. Love is a beautiful thing. Honesty is the best policy. I want his advice. Yeah, science is the best medicine, okay? I just gave you a silly example. All right, then I also wanted to mention a couple of things. The is sometimes pronounced the, and a is sometimes pronounced a. And it all has to do with emphasis. So the, you would say it when you emphasize things or before a vowel. So it's the event of the year. You're saying it's the only event that matters, okay, of the year. Apart from the fact that it's before a vowel, you would say that very strongly, the event of the year. Otherwise, you would just say it's the event of the year. But you would never use that construction because the event, it's the event of the year is a very specific and strong construction, okay? Are you following? Am I too slow, too fast? Can you understand me? Should I slow down? Are you all right? Okay, then A is also for emphasis. You'll say, did you find my coins or any coins on the floor? And someone will reply, yes, I found a coin, which means, yeah, I found a coin, but I'm not sure exactly if it's the coin you're looking for. I found a coin. It's kind of casts doubt on the coin, but you're emphasizing the coin, that you found a coin, but yeah, it's a coin. It's not the coin that you're looking for. All right, so it might just be something irrelevant and unimportant. Good. So now we're going into definite versus indefinite article usage. So non-specific and specific. If you're trying to decide whether you want to say a or the, a is non-specific, an is non-specific, and the is specific. Okay, so I want a bicycle. I want the bicycle. Do you have a driver's license? I lost the key card to my hotel room. Okay, I hope everybody's with me. We're going to do a little worksheet in a moment, okay? And I'm doing this quickly because I'm trying to go onto the more advanced sections, which are difficult. All right. All right, then use a when talking about something that is new, unknown, or introduced for the first time to a person. Okay, so use a when you're talking about asking about the existence of something. So if I say I'm quite new to you, and you say where do you live? Well, I own a house. I'm introducing the fact that I have a house, not the house or house on its own. I have a house. I own it. All right. That's the first time you've been introduced to it. Then the next sentence, I would say, the house is blue. Okay. Just to give you an example, because I've already introduced you to the house. So Mary is a doctor, and that's how we introduce our occupations, by the way. You would always use a, unless you're talking about something different. So Mary is a doctor. She is a politician. She is a prime minister, etc., etc. And then asking about the existence of something. Is there such a thing as a Tagalog dictionary? Okay, Tagalog is a language for those who don't know. Okay, all right. Now, okay, Ramon. Paolo, Ramon, good to have you here. I don't understand your language, but it's good to have you here. All right. The is used for something specific. All right. So it's used to talk about something that is already known to the listener. So it's been mentioned, introduced, discussed already. So I have a house. Antonio, good. I'm glad to hear that. Are you from, let me guess, I can't. You could either be from Spain or from Italy. I don't know. Thank you so much, Antonio. Okay, so let's talk about the being specific. The is used to talk about something that's already known to the listener. So like I mentioned before, when I said I have a house, then once I've said, I can't use that again because the listener knows I have a house. I have to say the house is on Vilakazi Street. Okay, so yeah, that's very important. Okay, let's give you some more examples. I have a very big present in my bag. From Spain. Good to see. Good, Antonia. Okay. I have a very big present in my bag. Then you would say, the present is for my mom. Okay. We would normally, if there's a reason you need to say the present to avoid confusion, you would say the present. Okay. Then if you're going to the supermarket, we would ask, do you know where the cheese is? Okay. Or even if you go to the fridge at night, let's do that. If you go to the fridge at night and you ask your spouse, do you know where the cheese is? Because it's the specific cheese that is in our house. Okay, not any old cheese, it's the cheese. Ah, Ramon, I'm glad you have a good, you find them helpful. I'm so glad. All right. And then, okay, so say now somebody has mentioned some iguanas, let's hope not, because they're quite dangerous, that they saw in the park, in the green area with trees, the park. Let's say somebody said that. They said, I saw a couple of iguanas yesterday in the park. Then the following day or the day afterwards, you would say to them, you saw them, and you would say to them, you know what? I saw the iguanas that you were talking about in the park yesterday when I was there yesterday. Okay, so the iguanas refer to something that is already known. And the iguanas has been mentioned by somebody else. The iguanas. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next one. The is used with uncountable and plural nouns. So uncountable nouns can have no article, but the can be used with uncountable and plural nouns. So that is not a one thing. It can refer to many, okay? The can be used with uncountable and with plural nouns. And then you also have uncountable nouns, which are used with no an, or the. Okay? So let's just see why and when. Okay. If the is referring to one kind or one group, all right, then you can use the. So let's say I'm not going to use these examples here for a moment. The flour that I use to bake bread, the flour, it's uncountable. You would use the before it because you're talking of a very small amount of flour. It's an example of flour. It's a measured out amount. So you would use the. It's more specific than any flour, okay? You can say, I use flour to make bread, okay? That means any flour. But the flour that I use to make bread is because it's referring to that very specific little bit, a group or a kind or a very measured amount, okay? I hope that's clear. All right. Then we can say the flowers, plural, not just a flower, the flower, but flowers. So that can be used with plurals. In that bed, very specific, were given to me by my brother-in-law. Okay. And then I planted flowers, any flowers. It doesn't matter what flowers in that bed yesterday. I planted any old flowers in that bed yesterday. Okay. So they are not specific. You might not, they're also probably not countable, could be countable, but it's very non-specific. So it's not a small group. It's not a measured out amount. But the flowers in that bed are measured, therefore you use the. Okay. Then the biology of zebras, very specific, okay, is fascinating. But biology is something you study at school, non-specific. The biology of zebras is a group. It's narrowed down, okay? It's one example of biology. The biology of zebras is an example. It's a small group. It's a small kind of biology, okay? But biology, general, something you study at school. Okay, then you can say people in Spain eat tapas. That can be of any era, of any area. But when you say the people in Spain eat tapas, you would be saying, well, actually, the people at this moment in time. Now, for that, because it's such a big number, we do use it interchangeably. So it doesn't really matter. For country and country-specific cultures, you can, and eats and that kind of thing, you can use that interchangeably. It doesn't matter because we just say both. It really, our usage just doesn't follow the rules necessarily in that. Okay. All right. Now, let's go back to no articles. No the, no a, no an. Okay. So when you generalize, as I've said before, about uncountable nouns and plurals, like flowers are beautiful, and you're generalizing. It's a big topic. Okay. Then you say it's always best to get advice. It's always best to get advice. Okay, not the advice, not the advice of my uncle, but advice generally, because it is uncountable. So note that you can say the advice in specific situations if it's a very measured piece of advice. Okay, if it's the advice that my uncle gave me about my knee or something like that. Okay, what would we do without water? Not the water, it's general. Water in general. So never, ever, ever, ever do you say the water if you're talking generally. Let me see where, I don't have a glass here, but if you have a cup, you would say the water in my cup because it's measured. It's there, specific, okay? All right, meat is not good for me, for you. Meat is not good for you. Well, that's debatable, but I love my meat, but I just giving you an example. Or vegetables are very good for you, all right? But the meat on my plate, measured, small, you can see it's contained, okay? So the meat on my plate is not a generalization, but meat as a topic of conversation is a generalization. Okay, and then I've mentioned flowers are beautiful. Right. Sometimes, okay, having said that, sometimes, and it's sometimes, we have the with generalization, okay? So with musical instruments, we always refer to it as the piano, the flute. I play the piano. I play the flute. The flute is very beautiful. We wouldn't say flute is very beautiful. We would say the flute is a very beautiful instrument. It's a generalization, okay? Plants, the coconut tree, the baobab tree. The baobab tree is found in Africa, right? The baobab is found in Africa, right? That's different for plurals, so don't worry about that, okay? Because we would say baobabs are found in Africa. That's the same thing, okay? So, and then you would not have the article. But if we're talking about a topic, we can use the singular for a generalization with the, okay? So, yeah, as I said, the baobab is found in Africa, or baobabs are found in Africa. All right. Animals, the leopard, the elephant, the lion. Okay. So the leopard is an animal. The leopard is an animal that climbs trees. It's exactly the same as saying leopards are animals that climb trees. Okay. Elephants have long trunks, but the elephant has a long trunk. Okay, so when you're talking about a generalization, you can use either the uncountable noun in the plural with no article, or you can use the elephant or the whatever with an article singular. All right, if you're talking about a generalization, that is how we generalize in English. Okay. Then inventions. Okay, so these are the things we use the for. Take careful note, take note, because there are going to be some we don't use the for, all right? So the steam train, the wheel. The wheel was invented in, and it's not just talking about one wheel, it's talking about the concept of the wheel. It's an abstract idea, all right? The concept of the wheel was invented in whenever it was invented. Donkeys years ago, all right? Currencies, the dollar, the rand, the yen, the euro. Okay, so the rand is doing very badly at the moment. The dollar is doing superbly well at the moment. Okay, that's how we refer to it. We would here never use it to on its own. Have you? So we would never say rand is doing very well. You could say dollars are doing, no, you couldn't. We just don't, that's not how it's a monetary system. So we just say the yen, the dollar, the rand, okay? Never ever plural. Okay, whereas the rest you can actually talk about it with the plural. Steam trains were invented, wheels were invented, although that's strange. We would normally say the wheel. The rest of them, we can sometimes use the plural without the article. Okay, but we often use the. So just learn what we use the for, generalizations. Okay, now we're going to go to ones here. Also, we talk about body parts with the toe, the head, the arm. Okay, so the toe is the most important digit on your foot for walking, all right? The head is attached at the bottom, at the top of the neck. You're talking about a generalization. You're not talking about my head or your head or that person's head, all right? I play the trombone. I'm giving you examples now, okay? I play the trombone. The trombone is a noisy instrument, okay? The baobab is native to Africa, I've mentioned. Alexander Bell did not invent the telephone. That's under debate, apparently by the Italians. The rand is very weak at the moment, as I mentioned, and the head is vital for the body. Okay. All right, let's go on to a worksheet. I've done this before, but let's just practice it, okay? He is, doctor. Do you use a, an, or the? Please write number one, a, and, the, or nothing. Just put a little cross, okay? And let me know. I'll read through some of them so long. I just want to get this a little bit more straight. That's probably better. That is love. Number two, that is love. Number three, I saw iguana at the park. Okay, there are two answers for that, possible answers. Number four, I asked him for information on treatment of the virus. And actually, there are two possible answers for that. Just type in number, just guess. It doesn't matter if it's not correct. We'll go through them in a moment. A doctor. Good, Oscar. Well done. That's brilliant. Number two, nothing correct. Absolutely. That is love. That is love. Well done. Okay. Because you're not being specific about love. All right. Nothing. That is love. Ning. Well done. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. Well done, everybody. Fantastic. You're going for it. Okay. Number three, and that's right. You can say an iguana because you haven't introduced it to anyone. If you want to say, I saw the iguana, you'd have to know something about the iguana before. So very well done, everybody, for trying. And please do carry on trying. This is fantastic having your answers. I love it. Okay. Ning, please do let us know where you're from. Number 4, I asked him for information on treatment of the virus. Yeah, some is not part of the article, so we leave some out, but you can say the information if there's only one type of information, okay? But otherwise, we have to say, I asked him for information on treatment of the virus, okay? If it's only a specific advice right now, we can't say the information because right now the information is changing. On the information on the virus is changing all the time. So I asked him for information on treatment of this particular virus. Okay, I'm talking about this one. But the information refers to like a sheet of information or a paper or something like that. Okay, it's very specific. You can say it, but only when they know what you're talking about. Otherwise, if you're just asking for information, I asked him for information on treatment of the virus. Ning from Athens, that's really nice. And Neuf, well done. Where are you from? It sounds like you could be from France. It'll be great to hear. Okay, we saw number 5, elephants at the watering hole. You've never, okay, just we saw elephants at the watering hole. There are 2 answers, possible answers, okay? Number 6, that is exquisite dress. Okay, don't use some, please. Some is not an article, so it helps you to think about it, but yeah, please leave some out. That is an exquisite dress. Well done, Ning. That's very good. And then I'd like to go to university in the sun. Okay, I'd like to. Number 5, we saw elephants at the watering hole. Okay, we saw elephants. It's very general. That's what we saw at the watering hole. We didn't see giraffe. We didn't see buck. We saw elephants at the watering hole. However, if you've mentioned elephants before, then somebody says to you, oh, the elephants were on the road. And you can say, no, we saw the elephants at the watering hole. Okay, so it's the elephants. It's very specific. But we saw elephants at the watering hole. It's not specific. It's just a group. Okay, well done. Okay, I'd like to go to university in the sun. Okay, I'd like to go to university in the sun, or I'd like to go to a university in the sun. More likely to be a university in the sun. Okay, a university in the sun, because you're not being specific. It's not Washington University, which is in the sun, probably not, but I'd like to go a university in the sun, which happens to be in the sun. Okay, it's any university. It's not specific. That's why it's a. Okay, well done. This is fantastic, everybody. I love your answers. Thank you. We're going to go and let's just talk very general. So it's not specific. Number 8, I need holiday. I need holiday. Okay. Number 9. You could say, Serena, the rule is normally an before an H, but because the sound is a consonant sound, it's a holiday, not an holiday, okay? A holiday, the H is a consonant sound. We do say holiday, unless you're from parts of England that don't say the H, okay? So then they would say, I need an holiday. I need an holiday. But we normally say, I need a holiday. Okay. Right, you're doing very, very well. Thank you for your participation. It's quite exciting. All right, is there such a thing as unicorn? Yeah. What does it sound like? Yeah sound. Yeah. It's a consonant sound. Yeah. Is there such a thing as unicorn? Okay, remember, it's asking for the existence of something. So you have to think, what's the rule for that? Right, a unicorn. Well done, a unicorn. I see some of you put "and" because it starts with the U, but the sound is actually "yeah." Wow, it's a yes sound. It's a consonant sound, like euro, unicorn. Okay, so we would say a unicorn. Okay, all right. Then don't use the word some for number 10, please. Just say, is it no article or the or a or an, all right? He wants popcorn, all right? And then, I'm just looking there. Why? Okay, let's just see number 8. Why is it not, why do we use with holiday? Okay, so holidays are nice. You don't use an article, okay? But if you need one holiday, remember, a means one. I need a holiday. So you would use a. All right, I need a holiday. Good. All right, she would love a pony for Christmas. A pony, number 11. Number 10, no article. Yes, well done, Helen. Where are you from, Helen? It's good to see you. Well done, Nina. Ning, I mean. Yeah. Number 11, she would love a pony for Christmas. Okay. All right. Now, this is a tricky one. Okay. So it's after the popular song, and we're going to discuss that when we answer it. Love is in air. All right. It's a classic song. Most people know it. Love is in air. And we're going to discuss why the answer is the answer it is. Okay. Number 12. That's right. Number 11 is a pony for Christmas. Correct. Gloomy, Gloomy Banana, where are you from? I like your name. um, okay, and then advice given me by my doctor was sound advice. Now, is this general or is it specific? You decide. Is it general or specific? Well done for everyone who's coming up with 11. Fantastic. Okay. Let's go back to 12. The, ning, it's the air. That's right. Love is in the air. Okay. And that is because it's this specific air around here. Okay. It's not in the whole world. It's just in this air around us. Okay. So we're being very specific about that. That's why. Normally, air is used without an article. Unless you're talking about specific air. So the air in my tire or something like that, okay? You're from the Ukraine. Well, welcome. It's good to have you. Okay. And then number 13, yes, Oscar, you're right. The advice given me by my doctor was sound because it's only specific advice. I take advice. I will take advice from anybody. It's uncountable. It's any kind of advice, but the advice is specific advice. Well done, Angel, or Angel probably. Yeah. Where are you from, Gloomy Banana? It would be really nice to know the country you're from. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to go on to something else. It's where a or an is used in the same way as per is, okay? All right, a or an is used in the same way as per. So my car doesn't go faster than 80 kilometers per hour, all right? Or 80 kilometers an hour. Remember an before hour, because hour has a vowel sound, not a consonant sound. We're not saying an hour. We're not saying a hour. We're saying an hour. Remember, it's the sounds that a or an depend on. Okay. All right. Uber charges 70 Rand a person. Okay. Per person. Right. 2 Rand to euro a kilogram, okay, of apples or whatever. 2 Rand per kilogram of apples. Same, it's just interchangeable. You can choose. It's quicker to say or an, I think. I don't know. I don't know why we do that, but we do. Okay. Right, the next rule, okay? The next rule that you need to remember is that the expresses rank or order. So the next time, the last time, the following time, or the first, the 20th, the 100th, the 101st, whatever. That's both of those, the. Okay, so the next time you do it, not just next time. Although when you hear us, you think we're saying next time. We don't. We're actually meaning the next time. All right. We just sometimes skip out the word, but we do mean the next time. The next time you'll do that, you get a fine. The first time she danced, she sprained her ankle. She'd been to the shops on the previous day, so she decided to stay home. Okay. All right, that should be a fairly easy one. And then the is used with superlatives. Superlatives is not, remember you've got good, better, best. So best is the superlative, better is the comparative, right? Then you get more and most. Most is the superlative, more is the comparative. Okay, so just remember those words. So with the superlative, you use the, okay, always. If you're going to talk about one thing, he is the best dressed in the room, not he is best dressed in the room. No. He is the best dressed in the room. Okay. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. It's the most important advice you will ever receive. It's the most important advice. Okay. I think that's fairly straightforward. I'm going to go on to the next slide then when we talk about comparatives. Okay. You can use the or a or an. It's the normal use of, the article. So if you're being specific, you talk about the, and if you're being talking about non-specific singular things, you talk about an. Okay. So I would like to see the bigger pack of lions means that there's a specific pack of lions or pride of lions that you would like to see. They're bigger, okay? But if you see a group of lions and you say, oh, there's only 2 or 3, I'd like to see any bigger pack of lions or pride of lions. Yeah, that's non-specific. All right, so or the, so it doesn't matter with comparatives, all right, but you do tend to use an article, all right. However, when you're comparing two things and two things only, you use the, okay. Between Noah and his wife, I think that he is the wiser one. Okay, between the two sisters, I think that Shirley is the prettier one. Okay, so that's an easy rule to remember. Just keep it going. Right, now, this is one we've never done before. So I'm going to go quite slowly and I'm going to do the worksheet. Do it with me. It's such fun when you write the answers down. Okay, so can you switch TV up a bit? You're in the lounge and you ask your husband, can you switch TV up a bit. Okay. What is it? A, an, the, or nothing? Right. Number 2. Let's remember. Okay, well done. The. Well done, Uncle. The TV. That's right, Bloomy Banana. All right. Then number 2. He charges $2 bag of oranges. Remember the rule? Number 2. Ning, well done for number 1. That's right. It's $2 a bag of oranges. Yeah. Because we can swap it with per, remember? Then he went to visit his sister. Remember, order and rank take a specific construction. Following day. He went to visit his sister following day. Number 3. Please put the number next to the answer, because when I speak, it takes about a minute before it reaches your ears. So I am already speaking ahead. So just, yeah, number 3, the following day. Well done, Gloomy Banana. Okay. All right. Excellent, everybody. Good. Now I have a challenge for you. Okay. So we're going to mention something, okay? Remember, we're introducing something. Then once we've introduced it, we're talking about it again. Let's have a look. I have blue car and red one. Blue car is in the garage. Okay? Number 4, you've got 3 answers. Put them in order, okay? That's right, 9. 9 pas. I have a blue car and a red one. The blue car is in the garage. Well done. Excellent. You've got it. Okay. Now, number 5, again, order or rank. That's 20th time I've told you. Yes, you've all got it. Oh, I'm so glad. Rosie, where are you from? Tell us where you're from, Rosie. Rosie G. Yeah. Okay, well done. Number 5, the. That's right, ne pas. The. That's right, Aurora. That's right, the. Good. You've got it. Okay. David was most handsome man Sally had ever met. Okay. Number 6. David was, or David, if you want to, was most handsome man Sally had ever met. Okay. Number 6, the. Yes. Superlatives take a definite article, the. Well done. Luca, where are you from? Do let us know. Okay. I'm going to continue practicing. There are a few things that I have left out for the moment, but let's do this. Number 7, again, superlatives. What is the article? It was best day of my life. Please put the number next to the article, because, or the non-article, okay, because of the lag between my talking and your hearing me. Okay, so then, because I will already be speaking about the next thing when you get when you hear something. Number 8. Okay, good. Well done, Nerfpa. She's the more beautiful. Remember, you're comparing 2 things, so it has to be the more beautiful. Wonderful. Okay, number 9. Good advice is what we need right now. Good advice is what we need right now. Yeah. Okay. The, an, or nothing. Okay. Here it is general. Okay. It's not talking about the little bit of advice. Okay. And you would never say an advice, okay? Because it's an uncountable noun. You will never, ever, ever use a or an with uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns either take no article or the, okay? The when it's very, very, very specific, and a when it's general. Here, it's general. We need it right now. Any advice, okay? We need a lot of advice, okay? And good advice. We don't need bad advice. We don't need fake news, all right? Of course, so nothing, right? Ning, well done. Nothing. And good advice is what we need right now. All right, then 10, we're doing this again. Love is in air. And we've done that, so we'll just say love is in the air. Okay, love as a general concept. Okay, not any old love, all right? And then number 11, I want bigger car. We're not comparing two things here, all right? You're just saying, I've got a really small car. I want bigger car. All right, 11A, right, Helen, correct. Well done. Okay, good, 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 Serena, good. Okay, then number 12. With the age of the internet, information is at our fingertips. Number 12, with the age of the internet, information is at our fingertips. We're not being specific, okay? No specificity there. We're being very general, and it's an uncountable noun. So what is the rule? Okay. It's an uncountable noun, and we are not being specific. It's very general. Information, no article. So with the age of the internet, information is at our fingertips. Any information about anything. So it's a general topic. So there you go, Angel, nothing. Well done. All right. Well done, everybody. This was fantastic. Superb. Now, this is a tricky thing, okay? I promise you that you will understand it, but it will be difficult to understand it first, okay? So, when we talk about going to the pub or the supermarket, the toilet, the doctor, the cinema, the park, etc., we use the, okay? Just listen, these particular words, I just remember these words. Don't worry about anything else. So we use the to talk about the activity, not the place. Okay, so I'm going to the pub just now. I'm going to go drinking just now. All right, so you're talking about the activity. You are not talking about the place. All right, so I'm going to the supermarket. Yeah, we know what you're going to do there. You're going to shop. Okay, if you had to say, I'm going to a supermarket, where people would say, okay, and what you're going to do there and why you're going there. All right. So if you say that, people know you're going shopping. If you're going to go to a supermarket, you might be going to apply for a job. You might be going to see what's on the shelves without buying anything. All right. Okay. But if you go to a supermarket, then that's what you, it's very non-specific. We don't know what you're doing there. Okay, it's the same as the shops, by the way, and there it's plural. I'm going to the shops, I'm going shopping. And if you had to say, I'm going to a shop, people would really look at you blankly and say, yes, yes, what do you mean by that? Okay, all right. So the toilet, it's about what you do there. The doctor, so you go to the toilet where there is no actual bathroom. You can go in the bush, in the veld, where it's very wild. You can go to the toilet, to be polite, in the bush. Okay. I'm going to the doctor. I'm going to be diagnosed, and I'm going to be treated for some illness. I'm going to the cinema. I'm actually going to watch a movie. I'm going to the park. I'm going to enjoy the open air or go for a walk or something like that. Okay. You would generally, it would be very odd for you to say, I'm going to a cinema, I'm going to a park. But let's just carry on and see. if you can understand this. Please ask questions because I know it can be difficult, okay? He went to the toilet, not a toilet. I'm going to the supermarket. You can say, I'm going to a supermarket, but people, as I said, people will go, and I'm going to the pub, but I don't know which one, okay? So in other words, I'm going to drinking. What is also accurate is I'm going to a pub, but I don't know which one. I'm going to a place. Okay, so the pub means I'm going drinking. A pub means I might actually be going for a dinner. All right, a pub, I don't know which pub, but there you go. So both of those are correct. Did you understand that? Is that okay? The last one particularly, I want you to understand that clearly. A pub is the place, the pub is the activity of drinking, all right? Yeah. I hope that that was kind of clear, all right? Now, there are times when we talk about the activity, good. When we talk about the activity, but we don't use any article, okay? So if someone's going to church, we're talking about the activity of worship. We're not talking about the place. We're not talking about the building, okay? If someone's going to school, we're talking about the activity of learning. But here, you don't use the, okay? So there are some words you use the with, and some words you don't use the with. And you just need to learn them, and they're not very many, actually. Much more than church or school or football. Yeah, I can't think of anything, or any other kind of sport. I can't think of anything. Okay. She's going to a church, and she's going to who knows? Maybe apply for a job in any church. We don't know. They're going to school. They're going to participate in the activity of learning. We're going to a school because we want to see what it's like. We're going to a school, any of the many schools around the corner. It's just one of them. And then you can say the school, obviously, the school is very nice. That particular school is very nice, okay? But if you're talking about the activity, you talk about going to school, all right? Also, activity, he will go to football today, or netball, or soccer means he's going to practice. He's going to engage in the activity, all right? Okay, but they will go to the... Okay, I'll come back to Dimitri. It's a good question, hospital. I'll come back to that now. They will go to the football on Saturday, means they're going to the football match. They're going to watch. They're not going to do the activity. Dimitri, to come back, the hospital, I'm going to the hospital, all right? I'm going there to be treated. So it's like the previous slide where we use the. Some people, sometimes we use, I'm going to hospital, but it's not accurate. We would use the with that, okay? And then again, the hospital is dirty. I'd like to be in a hospital if I am sick, okay? Any hospital. But I am going to the hospital when you're talking about an activity. Well done for that question, Dimitri. Let me just see how much I can do more. Yeah, I can't do too much more. So if there are any last minute questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm just going to be saying goodbye. So I will leave it with that, but there are more things to talk about. There are a few more rules. Okay, for example, if you're a doctor, you could say hospital without there because you're going to work there. So generally, okay, so if you're a doctor and you're going to work there, you are going to the hospital because it is the one place where you would work, okay? No, you wouldn't say it without the. You would be specific. If I'm going to, yeah, you would say the hospital. It means the place where I work. Okay. Yeah, because a doctor doesn't engage in when you say the hospital, it means treatment as a patient. It doesn't mean doctor as a treatment. You're right. There is a distinction. You're very right. So the doctor who works there is going to say, "I'm going to the hospital, love. Goodbye," to his spouse or something like that. Yeah, you would always say the, because it's the place where you work. That's all for now. We don't actually have any more time, but please come with your intelligent questions because I will be doing it again and going further in this use of and non-use of the article. Okay, I know it can be challenging, so you've done extremely well. Thank you so much for joining me, and bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, if you want to book a lesson, please do just book a lesson using my number 5666908. Okay, bye there, everybody.
Lingby es una aplicación móvil que ayuda a practicar idiomas de manera instantánea conectando a usuarios disponibles en todo el mundo. Con Lingby encontrarás personas nativas dispuestas a ayudarte a practicar el idioma que desees aprender. Los usuarios con tiempo libre se mostrarán disponibles para recibir llamadas y de esta forma ganarán recompensas ayudando a otros usuarios. Así es como conectamos personas de forma colaborativa y gratuita en nuestra aplicación. Únete a nuestra comunidad, haz nuevos amigos y mejora en todos los idiomas que quieras. Descarga Lingby y practiquemos juntos.
Este es Peter. Está aprendiendo chino. Ha intentado estudiar por su cuenta con libros, tarjetas de vocabulario y aplicaciones móviles, pero sigue teniendo problemas para hablar. Esta es María. Le encanta aprender inglés, pero no tiene oportunidades para ponerlo en práctica. Con italki, Peter y María pueden recibir clases personales online para hablar con fluidez en otro idioma. Tú también puedes aprender un idioma en italki. Empieza hoy en 3 simples pasos. Primero, elige un idioma. Inglés, alemán, chino, francés, japonés. Italki tiene profesores para cualquier idioma. Segundo, escoge un profesor. Con italki puedes escoger entre miles de profesores con experiencia de todo el mundo. Tercero, elige el horario de tu lección. Las clases de idiomas online son el mejor método para aprender con profesores nativos. Con italki tendrás un profesor de idiomas personal y conversaciones reales con hablantes nativos. Cada día miles de personas aprenden con profesores internacionales a través de italki. Encuentra un profesor hoy y domina el idioma de tu lección.
Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com. And today we will be talking about 3 grammar rules to follow when you start learning Spanish. The first one is that, as you have already heard, Spanish verbs are always conjugated. That means that they have to match with the subject of the sentence. For example, there are different pronouns in Spanish. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, and ellos, ellas, y ustedes. All these pronouns have their own conjugations, and it's very common for beginners to mix them up. So remember this. When you start to conjugate the verbs, they have to match. The second rule is very important as well. The Spanish nouns and adjectives has to be in the same level. Let me explain you this. If you have a noun that is feminine and plural, for example, las mujeres, the adjective that you have to use right after the noun has to be feminine and plural as well. For example, las mujeres españolas. It is the same with the articles las, female and plural. We use this article because, as I say, it's female and plural. The third rule I already mentioned before, and be careful, English speakers, because the adjectives in Spanish go after the noun, not before like in English. This is very common for students that learn Spanish and already speak or know English. When I say las mujeres españolas, españolas is the adjective, and I put it after las mujeres. In English, it would be Spanish woman, but not in Spanish. Okay, there are some occasions where the adjectives go before the nouns. That is true, but normally this use comes out at intermediate level or advanced level, so do not worry when you are a beginner. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel over here. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego! Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com, and today I will be talking about 7 Spanish words that are similar to their English counterpart. These words are also known as cognates. What a cognate is? A cognate is a word that has the same linguistic derivation that another word, and it looks similar, and when you pronounce it, it sounds almost the same. And here I will give you 7 cognates so you can use them in Spanish as well. The first one is alcohol in Spanish. Guess you know what it means because it sounds pretty similar than in English, doesn't it? Number 2 is conclusión. This one has a different pronunciation in Spanish, but you will understand definitely when you start learning Spanish. Number 3, hobby. This one is completely similar. We basically took this word from English. Number 4, individual. Of course, it's the same word, just different pronunciation. The next one, number 5, is piercing. Yes, we use this word with the same pronunciation and meaning. Next one, number 6, is informal. I like to use this one in my lessons to explain ways to greet and say goodbye because it's similar in English and is a word that the students understand very quickly. And the last are some words related to sports. If you're learning Spanish and you like sports, you're lucky because most of the words are cognates like football, tennis, baseball, volleyball, hockey, water polo, golf, surf, and so on. As you can see, almost all sports are cognates. So, talking about your hobbies should not be difficult. As you can see, there are many, and I would like to remember you that there are hundreds of cognates, and if you check them, you can be ready to your first Spanish lesson. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel for more tips on learning Spanish. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego!
Hi everyone, it's Caroline here and I teach English on italki. Today I am going to be talking about business idioms or idioms you might hear in your office or in your workplace. A student asked me a really good question the other day. He asked me whether, because I'm a native English speaker, do I know every single idiom? And the answer is no. Idioms are phrases or expressions that come from a particular place or a particular age group. So idioms are different in the UK to idioms in the United States. I have chosen 5 business idioms to talk to you about today, and you may hear them in an office in the UK or in the States. So hopefully they will be super useful for you. Idiom number 1 is the big picture. Imagine you go into a meeting and your boss says to you, you've lost sight of the big picture. What does that mean? That means that you are thinking too much about the small details of the project, and you are so interested in those little details that you don't remember what it is you're trying to achieve. So always keep sight of the big picture. The second idiom is to go the extra mile. Now imagine you're in an interview and the interviewer says to you that they are looking for someone who always goes the extra mile. What does that mean? Does it mean they want you to run around the office every day? No, it means they want you to do more than just what is in the job description. They want you to go that little bit further and to take on extra responsibilities. That is going the extra mile. The third idiom is a win-win situation. A win-win situation means everybody gains something. A really good example of this is these videos that I'm making for italki. Italki gains some content for their website, some lessons for their learners, and I have a platform where students can see me and book lessons with me. It's a win-win. Italki wins and Caroline wins. The fourth idiom is word of mouth. So an example of this is, think about how you found out about italki. Did you find italki by searching on Google? Or did you find italki because one of your friends recommended it to you? Recommendations from friends are word of mouth. It can be positive or it can be negative. If your company gets bad word of mouth, it is going to be a very difficult time for your company because people really listen to the opinions of their friends. So make sure whatever you do, you have good word of mouth about it. The fifth and final business idiom is to touch base. My manager used to say this to me a lot. To touch base means to have a very quick and short meeting about a project or something that you are working on. It might only be 5 minutes of your time, but in that time, you will check that your understanding of the project is the same as your manager's understanding of the project. So I have a challenge for you. In your next lesson, I want you to ask your teacher if you can touch base about what you have learned in your lessons so far. This could be 5 minutes at the end of the lesson where you review all of the different subjects that you have been studying. You're touching base about the things you have covered so far. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to italki by clicking somewhere. And you can take a lesson with me by clicking on my teacher profile in the description box. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Welcome back to the Stop Being Boring When Speaking English video series. When speaking to native English speakers, it's useful to use a variety of vocabulary to make your conversation sound more interesting and flow. Why not spice up your language a little bit and impress others with your speaking abilities? In this next video, we will take a look at some American and British slang.
Number 1, American. John Hancock.
John Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a person,
It's a name of a person, yes.
and it's American slang.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it means?
I just got John Hancock. Does it mean like wasted?
Certainly not.
Give me an example.
Okay, so can I please have your John Hancock at the bottom of this paper? Come on, you gotta get it now.
Is it your signature?
Yes, you got it! That was easy.
Okay, awesome. Number 1, British. Peak. What does peak mean?
Like, taking a peek.
No, that's
Sorry, that's not taking a peek.
That's not slang.
This is taking a peek.
Well, that's just like taking a peek. That's not slang.
Oh,
Like in a slang
peak.
context.
Like the peak of a mountain? That's not slang. That's actually
Yeah,
literal.
that is the peak of a mountain.
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, let me give you an example. So say you go out one night and you lose your purse, your keys.
Is it like the
phone.
most horrible situation you can be in?
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, that's so peak. You'd be like, oh, yeah. How was your night? It was so peak.
I just got fired. That's so peak.
Exactly. So it's like the peak of badness, I guess.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the peak.
2. American. Jacked.
Jacked. Does that mean like hench?
What does hench mean?
Like say you go to the gym.
Don't answer back with a slang word.
So the British equivalent of jacked would be hench, I think. So if someone's like really ripped.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So hench.
Go to the gym, work out a
Yeah,
lot.
like, whoa, look at him, he's so jacked.
We would say hench. Number 2, British. Peng. Peng.
Peng.
Peng. P-E-N-G. Peng.
Like someone being panged on the head with something? Or
Peng.
just thinking of bang and pang kind of similar, I don't know.
I guess it's a little similar. No.
Give me an example.
Okay, so for example, say you're eating a cake, it's delicious, you can say, oh, this is peng.
Does it just mean delicious?
You could use it in other contexts as
Does it
well.
mean like it hits the spot? You know?
Yeah, but I could also say that your eyes are peng, or a person is peng.
Just mean like extraordinarily awesome?
Basically, if you're talking about a person, you might even say peng-ting.
Peng-ting.
Like he's a peng-ting.
Okay.
This is mostly
I feel
London.
like he's like a 10.
Hello, good morning, buenos dias para todos. Hope everybody's doing well today. This is our last week here, starting with the live stream classes from italki.com/istayAtHome. And if you're on YouTube watching this as well, welcome. My name is Adriel, and today I'm going to be giving you a class that's going to be a combination of intermediate to upper intermediate language. This is going to be focusing a lot on learning to lead and leadership. So something that there will be a side of it that will be included for business, and another side of it that's a little bit more general. So I'll be talking about presenting as well, which is something I talked about a few weeks ago. I just wanted to see if anyone is here with us today before we begin, because I do not want to start the presentation without some people. So who is here today? Do we have anyone on YouTube? Anyone on italki.com/istayAtHome? That's waking up, you just had your coffee. All right, I have Nila saying hello. Okay, all right, I have one. All right, Vanessa, good to see you again. And Carlos Freixas, all right, and Helen Wolf. Okay, cool. I have also some other people. Paulo says hi. Peter says, I'm waiting for the Japanese course. However, I am with you. Okay, yeah. Well, it's true. I will not be teaching Japanese today. I don't teach Japanese. I only teach English. But I do speak Portuguese and French, and I am learning Italian. My Spanish will be good someday. So sorry. But yeah, I have Oksana saying greetings from France. Tia is saying hi. Ilona, hello. Annie, good morning. And Irina, hello. All right. I also have a few other people on the YouTube page. I have Antonio and Javier from Madrid. Okay, so it's good to see a lot of you. Again, a lot of people, so it's good to see you. And again, welcome to this class. Again, this is just going to be a little bit of some interesting conversations for you. So hopefully you're open and happy, excited to talk about learning to lead. So I'm going to start the presentation here today. We're going to talk about learning to lead. And again, we're going to be talking about something that I teach a lot of students in business classes in the presentation called pest analysis. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but I'm going to sort of talk about a few interesting things. So once we have the presentation up, pest analysis and presenting, we can begin. So if I can just have the presentation. Has anyone heard of pest analysis before? I know it's not something we really learn in ESL classes typically. It's not something that is, I usually when we go to an ESL class, we learn a lot of things that have to do with, with general business English or general presenting English. But if we're talking about leadership, right, these are some important things to know. So I'm going to show you this quote to begin with that says, "The early bird may get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese." Okay, this is a joke. It's a comedian, Stephen Wright. Well, we say famously attributed to, because when we say that in English, it means that we believe Stephen Wright was the person who said this. It was the first person to say this quote. But I would like to know if anyone knows what Stephen Wright means in this quote. It's supposed to be a joke. Why does so we say in English that the early bird gets the worm. That's an expression in English. You're free to share your thoughts in the comments. I actually, in my classes, I encourage you to talk more than me and to talk to each other as a group. But what does Stephen Wright mean in this quote? What's he saying? The early bird may get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Do you have any idea what he means by this? Why? What's the joke? Is this funny? Is it not funny? I can explain it to you, but if someone is there, you can answer. Yeah. The early bird may get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Okay. Well, first we have to think about, what does it mean the early bird gets the worm? What's the meaning of that sentence? And all right. So I have a few people. So some people are saying, please explain. All right. So, all right. So Annie says the first mouse got caught in the mouse trap and the second mouse literally steps over its dead body to get the cheese. Yeah. Basically, you got the joke. Yeah, it's you can learn from the mistakes of the first mouse. Good. The mouse gets more at the end than a bird. Well, maybe it's true, but yeah, I enjoy these comments. These are very, very good comments. Very well explained. Yeah, that's basically it. You have to wait for the first mouse to get the cheese. Well, not get the cheese, then the mouse gets the cheese. So the early bird gets the worm really means, right, that if you start early, you take advantage of the situation, right? You're ahead of everyone else. So, but that doesn't mean you won't. That might mean you make mistakes, right? You might make mistakes, and it's important to also see if other people have made mistakes, right? Then don't make mistakes, right? See if you can learn from the mistakes of the first mouse, right? So, yeah, free cheese in the mouse trap. That's a comment from Dimitri. Okay, so again, these are good comments. So let's continue here because this is important. So again, we're going to talk about to measure something, right? This is a verb. It's when we ascertain the size, the amount, or the degree of something by using an instrument or device marked in standard units. So again, to measure, right? So the synonyms here we have, calculate, compute, estimate. There's always a lot of synonyms. I was going over this with a student recently. You don't need to know every synonym of every word. What you can do is you can always use the more common words. So for example, measure is a great word, but if you use estimate, calculate, evaluate, they really do almost mean the same thing. So use a word that you're comfortable with and use a word that you hear more. So it's kind of the idea. So again, the antonyms would be to guess and estimate. So interesting sort of joke because it's also a synonym, right? But the idea is that measuring can be something that is precise, right? So again, we need to talk about developing a strategy, measuring a strategy, right? So a strategy is a plan that's intended to achieve a particular purpose. So you have a company's economic strategy. But it can also be the process of planning something or putting a plan in a skillful way. So you can say a marketing strategy, right? So a marketing strategy is not something that you can necessarily count, but a company's economic strategy, again, is something that we evaluate. We can count it. Again, There are different numbers of strategies. So marketing is uncountable, a company, countable. So it's simple like that. So again, let's go to some discussion here talking about this new vocabulary. The first thing is what again is the strategy that what does it mean to develop a strategy? And to answer the question from Annie, yes, estimate was in both categories. It's a curious word because estimate can also mean guess, but it can also mean calculate in a precise way. It's a very strange word, so it's very important to be careful with some of these words. We have to understand that it's better to be, when you say calculate, that's more precise than estimate. Estimate is, well, it's an estimate, so we're guessing something. So let's look here. So what does it mean to develop a strategy? What are everyday examples of strategies? And what kinds of organizations require strategies? Let's see if you can give me a few answers here, talking about developing strategies. When do you in your life, when do you develop a strategy? When, if you work in a company, do you develop a strategy? Yeah, can you give me a few answers here? I want any answers. They don't have to be right. They don't have to be wrong. They just have to be an answer. I want to see what your thoughts are today. So, yeah, all right. So we have one from Oliver saying to get a job. Okay, to get a job. That's one thing there. So yeah, you could develop a strategy to get a job. You have Vicky says planning to aim some goals. Yeah, you can say to aim for some goals. You can also you can say that you plan to achieve your goals. For example, strategy to achieve your goals. Yeah. Helen Wolf says while learning. While learning. Yeah, that's another kind of strategy you can develop. So I have another one from Annie. When I get a new assignment, I take a look at what I have to do to fulfill it and develop a strategy on what steps to take / do and when. Paulo says to improve our skills, okay, with an I, skills with an I. Nacho says to look in which markets you want to sell your products. Yeah, so these are all great examples of strategy making, right? Strategy developing. So what kinds of organizations require strategies? Again, this is an important question to ask. If you're a leader, right, you have to think about what kind of strategies, what kind of organizations require these strategies. So large multinationals, small and medium enterprises, government organizations, any kind of organization. Again, what kind of organizations need to develop a strategy? Do all of them need to develop a strategy? In your life, do you need to develop a strategy? And for what? For example, we could say that with the confinement right now, the lockdown, we have to develop strategies on how many times we have to go out every week. We have to develop a strategy on how much food we need to buy every week, for example. There's different kinds of again, strategies. But yes, Antonio says, I think all kinds of organizations need strategies. I would say yes, it's true. I think all kinds of organizations need strategies. And I think it's not something that we think about a lot. So again, PEST analysis is an acronym. An acronym, right, is when we get words, right, and we abbreviate them into a few letters. So each letter stands for something in PEST analysis. So when we think about the big picture in PEST analysis, right, we have to think about what each letter stands for. So what does the letter P stand for in PEST analysis? When we're talking about developing a strategy, we have to think about very big ideas, right? Big ideas. So what does P stand for in PEST analysis? I'm going to see a few answers that just came in from Vanessa. Any kind of organization and also your personal life or daily routine. Yeah, it's good. And from Eleonora says, any kind of organization that wants to achieve objectives, yeah, they have to develop a strategy. And Mike says, analyze the market to develop the best plan. So yes, just going back to what the acronym stands for, right? PEST, P does stand for political, right? Political, yeah. In this situation, a political factors, policies, laws, and taxes, right? So these are important things. So if P stands for political, we are looking at a big picture. Yeah, and again, Vicky answers political. So if P stands for political, what does E stand for? It should be pretty obvious at this point, but you can let me know. Again, political factors, we have to think about things that will change how you develop your strategy. There might be laws or taxes that will change your plan, that will change your type of leadership. So this is a very important thing to think about. What's E in economic? Yeah, economic. So not economical. I hear economical a lot, but it's actually just economic. Yeah. So economic factors stands for E. Supply, demand, inflation, exchange. All right. What about S? What does S stand for in PEST analysis? Again, we have political factors, we have economic factors, and now we need to find out what is the S in PEST analysis. Yeah. Social, good. So Helen Wolf, social, again, very good. Again, these it's not how do I say a complex situation, right? It's only thinking about the big picture. So social factors, right? Demographics, ideas, population growth, right? What kinds of people? What do people accept? What are people interested in? Are there more people? And there is one more factor, of course, which is the final one for T. T stands for, if we have political, economic, and social factors, then T is going to stand for, this is something that is the most importantly developing factor today. And what could it be? Technological, good, from Vicky. Okay, technological. So, okay, yes, time. Paulo's answering time. Well, time is a good guess, but again, time is already included in these factors, right? Because as time goes on, right, these factors change, these factors evolve. So technological factors, especially, are very important. So again, we're talking about automation, e-commerce, digital innovation, very important things. So what do these four factors have in common? Again, what's the connection between these four factors? Can you tell me what's the connection? Again, it's a big conversation. You don't have to think about it too much. But again, we're thinking about leadership. We're thinking about learning to lead. So if we have a PEST analysis, we have to think about these four factors. Why do we have to think about these four factors? What do these four factors have in common when we're measuring, developing a strategy? So what can you answer here today? What do they have in common? Yeah. You can take your time, it's no problem. In my classes, I'm very comfortable with silence if necessary. The idea is, though, is that your thoughts will be very welcome on the YouTube page or on the landing page. So think about it a little bit. How are these factors tied? In fact, are they the only factors? What can we add to these four factors? There might be other things too that I didn't talk about. I mean, what are other things I didn't talk about? Like, I know we talked about technology, we talked about social factors. But there are other things too that we have to think about when we're learning to lead and when we're making big decisions. Yeah. Okay, so Eleonora says they analyze the external environment. Vicky says they reflect all the areas. Yeah, those are some good answers. Yeah. And are there any other factors you would add to this, add to pest analysis? Are there other factors that you feel are important to think about when you're are these the only 4 things you need to think about? Are there other factors in the world that are maybe something important to think about? Hmm. All right. So Mike says tax. Well, taxes are part of political factors. They could be economic factors as well. But okay, good. Vicky, thank you. Ecological, good. Environmental factors, right? Environmental. That's another one that's very good. So if we go on with this, right, we can see that we can have some different things such as pestle and SWOT. These are some different acronyms. Again, very, very different, you know. So environmental and legal factors are important as well. Why? Well, again, companies and enterprises have to be very careful about the decisions they make. You have to also be careful about your decisions in leadership. So, for example, we talk about individual factors. We also we talked about business factors. We talk about ethical. That's a good one. That could be one that you could add to pest analysis. That could be part of social factors. Mike says all of them are dynamic. There's cultural factors from Gemma. So these are good things. So for example, when you think about your company's success, what are the individual qualities that influence a company's success? Can you give me an example of individual qualities? Again, we're talking about big qualities, right, with pest analysis, but what are individual qualities? What are individual qualities that are important in a leader, that are important in, for example, if you're a leader, what are qualities you look for in a leader? What are important qualities you look for in a leader? All right, so I have one here, emotional intellect from Elena. Okay, emotional intellect. That's a good one. Emotional intellect's important. Are there some other kinds of factors that maybe you look for in individuals? All right, problem solving. Good, problem solving. That's a good one. Problem solving is important. And what is another one? Are there other factors that you look for in an individual? Empathy. Good. Okay, from Gemma. All right, empathy. We have some good answers here. And if you're on your YouTube, you can feel free to answer. I know that these are more difficult questions, but I gave a lot of people easier classes, so I thought I'd give you a harder class today. But thank you for participating. So organizational skills. Good. Yeah, from Antonio. Yeah, these are good. Another one from Paulo, listening and ability to coordinate people. That's great. Wonderful. And Vicky says motivation. Yeah, good. So motivated, right? When they're motivated. Yeah, these are great things to think about. We're thinking about the big picture, but we have to think also about individual factors. These are important things when you're learning to lead, right? So again, when we look at something that's called SWOT analysis, again, this is just looking at it very quick. We look at 4 things here. We look at strengths, we look at weaknesses, we look at opportunities and threats, right? So again, there are things that are important to know. When you look at your strengths, you have to know your weaknesses. You look at opportunities, you have to also look at threats. So they go side by side. Again, that's what the idea of SWOT analysis is. And we can look at this also at an individual level, not just at a business level. So Again, let's just look a little bit at some modal verbs just to review some grammar. When we talk about employing new strategies, modal verbs are a must. Again, we say that a must when we say they're very important. So for example, must, mustn't, have to, can't, should, shouldn't, right? Can, could, don't have to. So what are strategies you must take in a company? What are strategies you should take? Don't have to take. Let's talk a little bit about just your strategies that we're talking about. So when we are talking about our strategies, what are strategies that you must take in a company? What are strategies you should take? Again, let's think about the idea of opportunities and threats, right? Let's think about the idea of strengths and weaknesses, right? So this is, again, looking at this in a more closer level, right? So I have a few comments that came in on the landing page. One was from Sarah saying reliability. That's a great word, reliability. I have another one from Serena saying steady hand in case of stress. And Mike says to be motivated and flexibility. Yeah. So these are excellent sort of, again, nouns and adjectives that we would learn when we're talking about these individual factors that make our company successful, make our business successful. And what, again, are some strategies you must take in a company? What are some strategies you should take, don't have to take? Can you give me a few examples? Things you have to think about. Imagine you're thinking about leadership in this situation. We're thinking about leading, right? So what are some strategies here? Again, there are no right answers. There are no wrong answers. There are just whatever answers you want to share. So, do you think of any strategies you must take or should take or you don't have to take? Still not getting any answers here. You can think about it, right? Again, think about things you must do in your life or things you must do in your job, right? Or things you should do in your life, things you should do in your job. So I have one person writing on the landing page. Julia says market survey. All right, market survey. So you can also say survey the market. That would be one thing you must or you should do, right? I would say that when you say there's an interesting thing with the modal verb have to, because have to, when you use it, like you say, I have to do something, right? You're saying like I must do something. But when you say I don't have to do something, it's not the same of saying you know, it's not the opposite. It's different. It's more similar to for example, that you don't have to do it, for example. It's not necessary. So it's an interesting thing how it changes a lot, because in have to, it's absolutely necessary, right? It has the same meaning as must. It sounds a little bit stronger, but it's quite strong. I have a few other things. Paulo says leaders should be aware of technological development. Yeah. So yeah, technological development. Yeah, that's something that's important. Again, going back to pestle, right? Not just saying pest analysis. And Sarah says improve your quality in an ethical way. Yeah, these are good. These are very good kinds of sort of ideas, right? I have another comment here, motivate the employees. Yeah, so these are things that you must do or should do, right? They should suggestions. Vicky says leaders should have a sympathetic ear to their team members and employees. Yeah, or you should just say they should be sympathetic. They should be sympathetic to their, yeah. Elena says a leader should collect info about companies and competitors. Yeah. All right. So these are good things. So we talked a little bit about some of the business factors. Again, these are more technical factors. We're going to go to something a little bit more informal now, and we're going to talk about one thing that makes a great leader, right, is presenting. right? Presenting and motivating. So these are some things we're talking about here. I have a comment here from Elena saying a leader should collect info about companies and competitors. Yeah, okay. So yeah, a lot of you already know what it takes to be a leader or a strong leader. But let's think about something a little bit more individual. So I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share you something on presenting. So again, presenting is going to be a little bit more general. And the thing is, presenting is something that we do a lot when we want to show good leadership. We want to show that we're capable of good leadership, but also that we're capable of also inspiring others, right? Motivating others. This is an important thing. So I'm going to share this with you on the screen. And this is a short introduction about presenting. So again, let's look at this quote here just to begin on the presentation as soon as it appears on the screen. And it's about presenting. Really, the question is presenting is something very important, right? When you're a leader. So as soon as that presentation shows up, as soon as I can see it, let's see, it's coming in, I think. There it is. Okay. And yeah, presenting, right? It's, again, let's look at this quote here again. That, again, the success of your presentation will be judged not by the knowledge you send, but by what the listener receives. So do you agree with this quote? What does Walters mean in this quote? What's the meaning of this quote? Again, the success of your presentation will be judged not by the knowledge you send, but by what the listener receives. So remember, we're thinking about being a great leader. It means being a great presenter. So do you agree with this quote? Is this a true quote about presenting yourself, leading in general, communicating information to others? Let's see. Just waiting for some of your comments to come in. Again, what does that mean? The success of your presentation will be judged not by the knowledge you send, but by what the listener receives. Yeah, okay. So Chris says, I think yes. And Vicky says the speech must be easy to understand. Yeah, okay. So there's a few good comments there. Yeah. The speech must be easy to understand. That's a good way to say that, right? Adapt your content to your attendees. And Vicky says, for not professional, can you explain? What do you mean by for not professional? You mean, for example, in non-professional speeches? It depends. So Pepe says, I really believe that I was a teacher and I always tried to be very clear. Okay, so okay, these are some good comments. And let's just think about, again, in the context of leadership, how often do you give presentations at work? Do you enjoy them? How do you present yourself at work, outside of work? Give me a few examples here. How do you present yourself? And again, if you're a manager, you can talk about your experiences. If you're a leader, a team leader, you can talk about your experiences here together. So Paulo says, in technical presentation, the content remains very important. Okay, good. So getting some comments here. Again, do you give presentations often? Do you enjoy them? And how do you present yourself? Are you a leader at work? Do you consider yourself to be a leader? Yeah. Do you have again? Do you have any experiences you want to share in the comments? You can. I can wait for your comments to come in, but it's no problem if you need a little bit of time. All right. So Mike says yes, of course. But I think if you're agreeing with the quote, right? Okay, Vicky's saying, I hate presentations. So yeah, presentations is not something a lot of people like. In fact, I would say one great way to practice your leadership is to also practice your presentations, right? I mean, it doesn't seem like something connected, but if we look at this, right, presenting comes to some of us naturally. And many of us do not like presenting for various reasons. And which reasons are these? Again, what do you think? In the United States, it's believed that over 25% of people are afraid of public speaking. This fear is called glossophobia, and acrophobia, or fear of heights, is ranked second. Fear of the dark is ranked 10th. Why do you think this is? Why are people afraid of speaking, right? Of speaking in public? Again, great leaders are not afraid of speaking in public. So I have one comment from Vanessa. You can know and have control over knowledge, but then not reach people. Yeah, exactly. One thing a leader does is they what we call channel knowledge, right? They get the knowledge and they bring it, what they know, and they bring out their interest. They bring out the knowledge they receive. So they receive the knowledge, and then we say project. Project is a verb we use. I'm going to write it on the landing page. But to project is when you, for example, you bring out a way of saying information in a way that influences people, that people listen to you. You're loud and clear, right? This is important. I have a few comments coming in from people. That Pepe says, I belong to the board of National Theater, and many times I need to present some new books about theater. And Ivana says, it depends on what kind of leader. And Mike says, it's not the same to have knowledge as to know, as knowing how to transmit the knowledge. You would say knowing how. Yeah. So going to the comments on the answers for this quote, for this part of the presentation. Vicky says they are afraid to be judged. Paulo says, I think more than 25% of people hate to speak in public. Yeah, it's possible. Again, this is just a small survey, but it was pretty interesting because it shows that people are more afraid of speaking in public than things that I think are more logical to be afraid of. Like, for example, being afraid of heights to me is more logical than being afraid of speaking in public. But I think it shows a few things about us. That Sarah says, if we are not confident, everybody is going to find out. Elena says, because of previous bad experiences, shyness, or self-consciousness. Yeah, these are great nouns. So if you look at this chart right here, you can see that this is just a survey done on Americans in 2014, that most of them are afraid of public speaking. If you look right here, there is also a fear of heights. That's almost the same. Then they're also afraid of bugs, snakes, other animals, drowning, blood, needles, claustrophobia. And actually, a good amount of people were afraid of ghosts and clowns and zombies. So, it's okay. I guess some people are more scared of ghosts than they are of speaking in public. So, it's an interesting survey. It's kind of funny, but it just goes to show you that being a leader is something difficult to do because it requires being a great motivator, a great speaker. And if people are afraid of speaking in public or afraid of speaking with their team, they will not be the best leader they can be. So again, have you ever given presentations in any of the following situations? Did they go as planned? Did they go wrong? Again, an informal presentation to friends or colleagues, a presentation at a conference, a presentation to clients or customers, or a speech at an event. What are some important things to do in order to present well? I mean, again, this is just talking about the topic. And let's see if I getting some answers here. Okay, Mike says presentation is to sell yourself. Yeah, I would agree 100%. It's to sell yourself. Gemma says I think there's a generation that hasn't, remember it's a singular, hasn't practiced or studied public speaking. Eleonora says, sometimes we're afraid of other people's judgment. Mike says, the first impression is the most important. Yeah, okay. And Pepe says, I always have some difficulty about begging, but, not begging, sorry, in the beginning, right? Starting is the word you want to use. So first impression from hello, starting, right? Starting the presentation. But after the first words, I get more confident. Okay. So again, so your name is hello. Again, I don't know if that's your name, but you say first impression is important. All right. So that's good. Yeah, first impression is very important. Again, we remember first impressions a lot, and if first impressions are important, what are some other things you can do to present well, to give a good presentation? Can you give me a few examples here? What are some other things we need to do to present well? Yeah. All right. So Paulo says, so hello says body language. And Paulo says it is important to be focused on the message that you want to give. Okay, yeah, good. So focus on the message, first impressions, body language. Good. These are very good things. We're gonna revise that in the next part. Again, the do's and the don'ts, right? You know, presenting terrifies people. Presenting in a foreign language could be even worse. So do be welcoming. Do introduce yourself. Do confirm objectives of presentation. Remind everyone of structure and length of presentation. Move through topics smoothly and give people the chance to ask questions. Now, don't worry about making mistakes. Don't apologize for your level of English and don't rush through topics. Are there any other do's or don'ts you would add to this list? Again, these are important things. Keep in mind that this is not a complete list. There are many other lists that we can talk about here, but we can also think about, again, when we say we be welcoming, right? That talks about the first impressions, right? Introduce yourself. Say your name, say what company you work with, right? And again, confirm the objectives of your presentation, right? So we have a few other ones here from the comments, right? Gemma says, I think it's very important to prepare a lot. Yeah. Sarah says, speak clearly and loud. Yeah, you can also say loud and clear. That's what we say a lot in English. Oksana says, do smile. Okay, do smile. And Pepe says, structure is really important. You need to try to understand how people are going, because they, right, people is plural, how they are going to retain the information. Yeah. So again, this is these are some pretty good tips again to think about. When we say a tip, right? A tip, we're talking about a situation where we have advice, right? Advice to give a good presentation. So let's see. So again, let's look at a few more answers. Yeah, it's the answers are the same. Again, people are agreeing with each other. That's good. Vanessa says here, make sure when you are speaking. So you make sure when you are speaking that although you don't know about the topic, yeah. So you can say make a good impression, right? So even if you don't know a lot about the topic, it's important to make a good impression. I would say that one big thing that happens with people that are giving presentations, right? They, I would say that they think too much about how they look instead of maybe what they know. If they just talk about what they know, it's important to be humble. For example, when I give my classes and when I give my presentations, I never think to myself, oh, I don't, I don't know how about this. I just say that, this is something that, that I'm interested in and that I'm learning about, and I hope you learned something today. And again, it has a lot to do with having that level of confidence. So when you present in a foreign language, this is something I've had to do in different languages, not just in one foreign language, but different foreign languages. And it's very scary, but if you go in there, you have confidence, you show that you're interested, and you have a lot to say, you can sort of continue at a pace that's very calm and calculated, and never worry about making your mistakes. If people ask you a question like they weren't sure, you can laugh about it, and you don't have to say like sorry for my English, but you can say, oh yeah, sorry, that was unclear, let me repeat that again. Again, never make it look like you don't know what you're doing. Even if you don't know what you're doing, like make it look like you know what you're doing. Remember, a lot of it is acting, right? It's acting. It's not just, it's performing, right? So in ESL, so English teaching, there is something called PPP, right? The PPP model, right? And we talk about this, right? We talk about practice, and then we talk about, again, presentation, right? So the important thing is that when you present yourself after with what you've practiced, you'll be fine. And if people ask you difficult questions, just sort of go back on what you know. And if it's a difficult question, that you can't answer, you can say that, that this is something that, I'm that there's still a lot to know, and there's some different answers about this. You don't have to, again, show that you don't know things. You don't have to show that your level of English is low. And you especially don't have to rush through the topics. You can go slowly with each one. So again, it's an important thing. So Pepe says here, when I was a teacher, I always used to practice my classes speaking out loud to myself. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. So again, part of the practice, right? And then putting it into presentation. And Claudia says eye contact. Yeah, so eye contact is another thing that I think is very important. It goes back to body language, right? Body language is an important thing. And I think that, again, when we go to the important thing of body language, we have to realize that most of the communication we make when we present is body language. It's actually true. I think I remember reading it was over 70%. So most people are not even listening to everything you say. They're paying attention to how you look and how you present. And this is part of what makes a powerful leader. All powerful leaders, they do this. Can you, just a question for everybody here, because I want to make sure that, we have a time for a little bit of free discussion, but can you, again, we talk about what makes a good presenter, and we have a few answers here, but I want you to tell me, who is a great leader for you? Who is a leader that inspires you? Can you give me some names of a leader that you are inspired by? It can be any kind of leader. Who is your big inspiration? And let's talk about people that present, people that lead companies. Can you give me some examples of your favorite leaders? That would be something interesting in the comments. So again, okay, just waiting for some new comments, but we know it makes a good presenter. Now, we already got a lot of your answers, and again, it's great. But I want to know also if you can name me, again, is a professional appearance important? Good eye contact? Yeah, we agree, good eye contact. Enthusiastic attitude? Body language? What else makes a good presenter? And presenting to others is the basis to presenting yourself. Again, it's being yourself, and it's knowing yourself, right? And I think great leaders in history, they know who they are, and again, they know what they do, and they don't have any problem with it. So I'm going to look at some of your answers here, just people that are sort of getting in here. So I have a few people. So Mr. Mask, Mr. Mask is a, and you can explain why. I want you to explain why. Again, you have some favorite favorite leaders. And again, what do you like about your favorite leaders, and what inspires you about your favorite leaders? Can you tell me that? Yeah. Okay, so I have Paul Pullman from Olivier. Okay, and Richard Branson from Hello. Okay. Pepe says, well, I'm from Portugal, and there is a CEO here who leads by example and always tries to share the profits with their employees. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. So it's a CEO that leads by example. So that means that there's someone that, right, there's someone that, when we say lead by example, that means that they make you feel that you should be how, again, the way they lead, you should be like them. So again, when you lead by example, right? And let's see right here. Oksana says, Mr. Mask is very authentic. Okay. All right, it's good. That's a good comment. From the YouTube crowd, I haven't heard many comments from you today. If you're watching, would you like to share any of your favorite leaders, any of your favorite motivators to the other commenters watching this live stream? Anyone on YouTube watching today, would you like to share your favorite leaders or your favorite presenters? Can you give me a few examples? All right. Anyone else? Yeah. So Paul Pullman was one of the. Why Paul Pullman? Why Richard Branson? Can you give me a few examples why these are great leaders for you? I do like these answers though. They're great. But I do want to know more about what you like about them. All right, so I have one here. Arnold Schwarzenegger from Elena. Because of his confidence and his ability to achieve anything he wants. Yeah, well, it's true. He did achieve anything he wanted. He wanted to be president, I think, but he couldn't do that because he was not born in the United States. Fortunately, there's a little bit of that complication. But yeah, I would say Arnold Schwarzenegger is inspirational for many kinds of people in many kinds of industries. So this is an interesting thing. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is interesting because he is someone that, to me, is a great example of someone that went beyond the language barrier, right? So the language barrier, again, was not a problem for him. He came to America, didn't speak really much English at all. And he found a way to use many things, his charm or his intelligence or his ambitions. Really, I think a lot of it comes from ambitions to kind of go beyond that, right? So we have a comment from Vanessa. I don't have any leader that inspired me. Okay, well, that's all right. You don't have to worry. This is not a. It's not a true. It's not a. There's no right or wrong answer here. I do have a few other comments, though, on the landing page that are very interesting, so I'm going to read them here. So Barack Obama from Paulo, okay, and from Mike, a great leader is Cholo Simeone. Okay. So Cholo Simeone, sorry. And Olivier, just to answer that question from Paul Pullman, he combined courage with business. Okay, yeah. So he was brave. You could say he was brave, we'd say. All right. Annie has a long comment here, so I would like to read it because it's interesting. So I was out for a while because we had a live stream about the new regulations in my companies. And speaking of leaders, I wasn't very thrilled when our current minister got elected. Now, I got to say, he really does a good job. He's honest and he tries his best and looks like he's working hard and trying to keep his promises. Okay, good. So he's a leader that's doing his best, right? Or their best. If we don't know the gender of someone, we can use the third person plural, their best, right? Yeah, so that's a good one. Can you tell me what country you're from, Annie, if I may ask? Because I would just be curious to know about the regulations in your country. Um, and Mike says about Cholo Simeone, his example can be applied to another context because of his positive attitude and following his dreams. Okay, yeah, great. So in the end, we have these great leaders, right? Because they inspire us, right? I mean, they inspire us. They're authentic. They're strong. They lead by example, right? That was a good comment when from Pepe. Lead by example. I think that's a great thing to say. So in the end, where does this all go together? Learning to lead, right? We have great leaders, we have presenting, right? We have pest analysis. Well, just to sort of conclude that, right? I'm going to just conclude this with you today. Again, the idea of pest analysis, right? It's an important thing. We're thinking a lot about, I think, why do we need to be good leaders today? Why do we need to be, again, people that think about these things, think about being a good leader? Well, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to share this here. Again, the conclusion is PEST measures a market and SWOT measures ideas, right? So this going back to, again, SWOT meaning, right, again, strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats. Companies need to decide on factors that are also based on their needs. And companies need to make decisions based on outside threats, right? So again, these are two different things, deciding on factors, making decisions, because there are different things going on. So again, there should be a respect for feeling versus thinking when we are procuring a business strategy, right? So, and not just pure procuring a business strategy, but being a leader, right? So in our more interconnected world, this is something we must consider. So again, I talked about earlier the idea, what should we consider that's important, right? Again, what are things we should consider? What are things we must consider, right? All right, so Annie's saying that she's from Bavaria. Okay, Bavaria, good. Yeah, it is really like a separate nation, Bavaria. It's a very beautiful place. And Pepe says, I believe that there are different kinds of leaders depending on the circumstances and the situations. Yeah, and I would agree with that here. I mean, again, there are different leaders, different situations, and leaders can change depending on different situations. You know, right now, with the COVID-19 crisis, we are seeing very interesting things happening in the world. We are seeing a lot of leaders that are taking great leadership, right? And they're taking a great image for the people. You know, it's important. And there are leaders that are doing the opposite, doing the exact opposite. I won't name any leaders because, again, this isn't a political class. This is just a class talking about what it means to be a great leader, what it means to have a great leading strategy. But it is true right now that there are leaders around the world that are leading by example and others that are not leading by example, right? And it's important that we have to look to the leaders that are doing the best and learning from them. And also learning from each other. I mean, we can learn from each other to be great leaders, but we can be great leaders in our community, right? We can be great leaders in our work. We can be great leaders on a team, even if we're not the boss, right? This is the thing to think about. And if we think about these big factors, these individual factors, and how we, again, what was the word we used earlier? Project, right? Project. Again, I wrote it on the landing page. When you project these ideas, these factors, then you know that you can learn to become a great leader. Pepe says right here, crisis leaders and happy times leaders, right? Well, you can say leaders in crisis and leaders in, we actually say in English sometimes, leaders in times good, leaders in times bad, right? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, right? And that's the important thing. We talk about that a lot when we talk about a war, for example. But even though we're not technically at war, we are in a crisis, and we have to look to these great leaders, and we have to think to ourselves, what makes us a great leader? So again, I'll conclude you with that here today. My name is Adriel. I'm a professor on italki.com. And there are many other professional instructors such as myself, but I do offer classes every week on italki. There are also informal tutors and language partners and many learning resources that you can look at that can help improve your English and reach your goals. I wanted to thank you all for being here today. I know this is a little bit more advanced class. Tomorrow we'll be talking about something I talked about last week, which is working with global cultures. And then we'll have some classes about decision making and teamwork, and also travel and eating. So a few reused classes. But again, thank you so much for being here today. You've been a wonderful group of viewers, and wherever you are right now, keep being inspired, keep becoming a great leader, and I wish you the absolute best in this time of crisis. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, basically.
Number 3, American. I blew it.
I blew it.
I blew it.
What a nightmare. I blew it.
Yeah.
So that means that you've completely ruined the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say like, I didn't make it into school. So my parents will not be proud of me. I blew it.
Yeah, but you rocked it late to work. Nobody ever knew that.
Yeah. I'm never late.
Number 3, British. Having a mare. Having a mare.
Having a mare. A nightmare. Like, horrible, real nightmare. In reality, basically.
Very good. Okay. That's exactly
That
it.
was a lot easier than the previously.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd go continue. Having a mare. You were having a mare before.
I was having a mare before,
Yeah.
not understanding anything she was saying.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. There's our British and American slang. Tell us what you thought of it. Did you understand it? And we'll see you next time.
My name is Vũ Nguyễn. Tên tôi là Vũ Nguyễn. It's really amazing thing for me. From italki, I can meet people around the world, and they can give me more energy to live and more inspiration to live the world also. Very magical, yeah. When I can go on lesson and I feel that I'm doing a very good job. And then working at home is a very wonderful thing. I think that I can do something, and I'm doing something here. I think that I can share ideas and talk with people. That is the first motivation for me to come here. The second thing, that I can have some money for my life, to make my life become better and more comfortable. It's a very wonderful website of italki, because italki is the connection between every people in the world with each other. There are many purposes for us to learn a new language. Innovation is the most important. Not only study language, but also sharing idea and culture and everything else in the life. And through the learning and teaching, and we can share more idea, and we can share our life better. You know that because each person have their own experience and their own knowledge and their own way of living. And when we meet new people, and we think that we are discovering a new universe or a new area or something like that.
So it's wonderful that we have this diversity, and we should just learn from each other. But if you at least just learn a second language and expose yourself to a second culture, Not only do you understand that culture better, but you understand your own culture better. And if most people just did that and were talking openly and honestly about themselves and other people, I don't think there would be any diversity problems. Because we're all learning from each other.
He is a very good student. He studied very well, and he just learned for, he just only studied for 1 month, but now he can speak very much Vietnamese. Later on, the student and the teacher can meet in a different country, and then the relationship become very good. We drink coffee together, and we go and I ride a motorbike, and I take them along somewhere beautiful together, and we talk together, and then they come back to their country, and we become teacher and student again. We study again. Yeah.
The number of refugees worldwide has reached historic levels, as tens of millions of people seek asylum from conflicts in their home countries. Even for those able to reach countries willing to take them in, rebuilding their lives and careers in unfamiliar societies often proves challenging. For one group of refugees living in Istanbul, teaching online Arabic lessons to students across the world has offered a way to overcome these obstacles and establish new hope. As well as earning income, they have been able to share their experiences with people from different cultures and backgrounds, cultivating meaningful relationships with students.
My name is Rahaf and I'm from Latakia, Syria. Previously, I had a normal but busy life.
My name is Abdullah and I'm a Syrian guy from Homs, the capital of funny jokes.
Hello, my name is Amr. I'm an Arabic teacher on italki. I'm from Egypt.
Hi, I'm Hussam. I'm from Syria, Al-Hasaka, and I'm a teacher on italki now.
3 years ago, I came to Turkey, to Istanbul. Many challenges came in one time. Leaving a country is not, or leaving your home. This is one, it's like fish out of the group.
I mean, the challenge that my career is almost dead. This is the only challenge now. Online teaching, it solves this problem, of course, because you can just be wherever and get online and start your class.
What italki offered me is like new students I have never met from another continent, way far from me. Once they want to like learn my language, I feel like this is like, I feel sometimes emotional.
italki, Bessa College and NGO Small Projects Istanbul are working together on this project.
It's important for people to kind of see and get to know someone who's experiencing a difficult time or who has had a difficult past, and to just remember people are people are people. We need to remember that we have a shared humanity, and I think that gets lost a lot in the media or in the news.
I'm teaching Arabic for first-year students of Arabic in America. We both enjoy teaching and learning online. It's an amazing experience for me as a teacher. I find it so helpful for me, also for the students.
Going into it, people might like have these assumptions that you're supposed to like learn something about refugees or like understand something new, but I think it's like most valuable to realize that like you're not really learning anything new other than that like this is like just another person just like you.
My tutor Mohammed was like so nice and so willing to work with my level of speaking and comprehension.
At the beginning, teaching online was a new experience for me, and it had a lot of challenges, but now I'm used to it, and honestly I'm enjoying teaching Arabic on italki.
I care now, I care more. I care more about the language, I care more about my students. Teaching Arabic is something valuable for me. Maybe give me hope, or I feel gain hope. It's reward for me.
Hi, I'm a language learning app.
Can we move on?
This is a dog.
I don't have a dog.
Repeat after me. This person eats bread.
I want to practice English for my job interview.
Incorrect. You haven't reached this lesson yet. Now repeat after me. This person eats bread.
Fine. This person eats bread.
That's better. Moving on.
¿Cansado de aplicaciones de idiomas inflexibles? Usa italki para aprender como tú quieras aprender y estudiar cualquier idioma con nativos.
Meet Peter. He is learning Chinese. He was studying on his own with textbooks, flashcards, and apps, but is still having problems with basic conversation. This is Maria. She loves learning English, but she doesn't have many opportunities to use it. With italki, Peter and Maria are able to get personal online lessons to help them become fluent in a foreign language. You can start learning a language on italki today. Just follow these 3 simple steps. 1. Select the language. English, Spanish, Chinese, French, Japanese. italki has teachers for every language. 2. Select the teacher. With italki, you can choose from thousands of experienced teachers from all over the world. And 3. Schedule a lesson. Online language lessons are the next best thing to living in a foreign country. With italki, you'll have a personal language teacher and real conversations with native speakers. Every day, thousands of people are connecting to international teachers through italki. Find a teacher today and become fluent in a foreign language.
Hi, my name's Tom. I'm from the US, I'm a chemical engineer, and I'm passionate about language learning. I've used italki to learn 8 languages to conversational level. I grew up in Colorado, where I was exposed to many different cultures, which cultivated my interest in languages. One of the first languages I became conversational in was Norwegian. I decided to book a trip to Norway. To prepare, I found a group class with around 7 people. Not only were they extremely expensive, it was around $40 to $50 per lesson, but progress was also frustratingly slow due to the size of the class. I heard about italki from a positive review from a famous polyglot. I was amazed to discover that I could learn any language I want, one-on-one, and for the fraction of the price as offline classes. I thought, how is this even possible? I immediately signed up with 2 teachers in Norwegian. One teacher, we would have conversation lessons and go through a textbook, and with the other teacher, we would go through worksheets and chat about random things. So essentially, I structured the classes in a way that would suit my own learning style.
There we are. Hello, hello. Hi again. Hello, everybody. Are you doing well? You're seeing me twice in one day. Wow. Why don't you just, can you hear me? Is the video good? Let me see. Is it all fine? I hope now. Now, if you will just let me know if you're online with me. That's nice to know, even if you were online before today at 9 a.m. now, let me know that you're with me. It's helpful to know. We're going to be talking about collocations or words that go together very well. Okay, so we're going to be talking about collocations, and we'll tell you what that is in a moment, as long as I know who you are behind the screen. I can't see you, I can't hear you, but it's nice. Ah, Vanessa, hooray! Somebody answered. Are you there? I'm not on my own in the universe. Vanessa, where are you from, please? I'm Karen, and I'm from Johannesburg in South Africa, and yeah, it's slightly chilly today. I'm wearing a nice, oh, hi, Helen, again. Good to see you. I'm wearing a nice roll neck, what you call it. Anyway, so tell me what's your weather like, and then we'll go on to working on the collocations. Vanessa, you're also from Spain. Okay, Helen's from Greece. I think I remember that right. Am I right? Tell me if I'm wrong. And Angel again. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to do collocations. Don't worry, nobody knows. If you speak to an English person, they won't know what on earth you're talking about if you mention the word collocations. So forget the name, just it's the words that go together, all right? So we talk about fast food, like McDonald's and Nando's and all that kind of thing. We don't say quick food, all right? So those are the words, kinds of words that I'm talking about. And sometimes there's a range of words that you can use with another word, but the range is limited, okay? You cannot use infinite ranges unless you're doing something very deliberate in poetry or in prose, okay? So having said that, let's go on to the first slide, okay? So there are words that frequently go together. Just remember fast foods. Now, I'm just going to check, sorry, that this is the right, I think this is, yeah, this is right. Okay, so there are 7 types, okay? Only 7. First of all, your adverb, I'll come to examples now, all right? Adverb plus adjective, okay? Adjective plus noun, and then noun plus noun, like adjective plus noun, noun plus noun, noun plus verb, verb plus noun. Remember that this is in the order that it comes in, not the other ones. And then verb plus prepositional phrase, okay? Anything with a preposition, an expression. And then a verb plus an adverb, all right? We're now going to go to the first slide. And the first slide is you're heading into summer, and it's got nothing to do with collocations. Well, it does actually. But you're heading into summer, and I thought I'd put a joke up, okay? So the joke is, Ukraine, that's right. Yeah, thank you, Helen, for correcting me. It was Ning, who is from Greece, that's right. So here we see that the corn has been staying inside, asks the one that has come outside, from outside. Obviously, all the corn has popped, and is asking a very obvious question, hot outside, and he says, shut up. We don't say shut down. To mean that anyway, shut down means a different thing. Roberta, how are you? And I think you're from Spain. Hey, it's good to have you with us. So shut up, it would be we don't say shut with, shut by. Okay, so we say shut up. Those are the 2 words that go together. Okay,
Now, let's go on to the next slide. I'm going to give you some examples now, all right? So, adverb plus adjective. Okay, so that's the first number, the first category, remember? Washing my passport was an something stupid thing to do. What can you put there? What can you put there? You're going to do the answers to this. I might be able to actually not present. Yeah, I have to. Okay, I'm not able to write a comment, I don't think, not here. Just a moment, sorry. No, I can't write the comment and I can't write on the screen. So we're going to have to give you the answer. Washing, Barbara, hello. It's good to see you. What we're doing is we're going into collocations. So I want you to find a word which fits with the phrase. Okay, washing my passport was an something stupid thing to do. What would be a good word that fits? Now, I did wash my passport once. Extremely well done. Extremely or incredibly. Okay. Yeah, well done. That's absolutely perfect. So we'll go on to the next one. I was not aware of the consequences of my action. I was not aware of the consequences of my action of washing my passport. Sure, I had to get a new passport. I couldn't use it again. I didn't know that. And I didn't intend to wash my passport in the washing machine. Completely stupid thing to do. Absolutely. Oh no, sorry. Serena, you're right. I was not completely aware of the consequences. And I'm not quite aware, that's right, of the consequences of my action. Good, good, absolutely perfect. Okay, I was not completely aware, I was not quite aware. Both mean fairly similar things in this sense. Okay, adjective plus noun, the next example, okay? So, my gran takes exercise as per the doctor's orders. What kind of exercise can it be as per the doctor's orders? She does it every day. So she takes exercise as per the doctor's orders. Those go together if you're talking about exercise that you do every day. Eduardo, hello from Madrid. Please do join in with the collocations. Daily exercise. That's right, Helen. You can say daily, but normally we say regular exercise. You're right, Eduardo. You could say daily exercise, but taking daily exercise is not something we normally say. We normally see takes regular exercise or does her daily exercise. Okay, so there are some things that go together with a verb, with a verb, specific verb before as well. Okay, all right. Then when we talk about ships going onto the ocean for the first time, we say that voyage of the Corona ship was doomed, of the Titanic, okay? The voyage. And it's not a common word. We don't use it a lot in English at all. It means young girl, but this is one where your options are limited, okay? In terms of what you can put together. The voyage. Okay, it's the maiden voyage. The maiden, M-A-I-D-E-N. The maiden voyage. All right. Okay. The next one. Okay. Noun plus noun. In terms of collocation, all right? So Europe regularly gives its health workers something of applause, okay? Europe regularly gives its health workers something of applause. What fits into there? Okay, I can't unfortunately write on the screen. I haven't found out how to do that. but a round of applause. Okay, for some reason, applause comes in rounds. Okay, a round of applause. Okay, good. R-O-U-N-D. Okay, let's hope you know the next one. I will explain what it is. I hope the Congo, the country, will come to a ceasefire. Sorry, it's a ceasefire. Something soon. Yeah, well done, Eduardo. Good. I hope the Congo will come to ceasefire something soon, so that they can focus on COVID-19 infections. It's normally something between two parties. It's a document. They come to a ceasefire. And particularly because it's the name of a document, it's very important to, there's only one word that you can use. The two go together, and there's only one word that you can use. Okay, I hope the Congo will come to a ceasefire agreement soon, so that they can focus on COVID-19 infections. They're unlikely to. They're likely to still have Ebola and still have, yeah, there you go, Eduardo. They're still likely to have these rebels fighting in the country and preventing any kind of lockdown. But anyway, yeah. All right. This lion, now animals make specific noises, okay? And those go, you don't say a lion barks, okay? It's just not on. It just doesn't fit together, all right? Unless you're doing some kind of poetic thing. So let's say the lion something at night. And remember, this is always at night. The lion makes most of its noise at night. So what noise does the lion make at night? What noise does the lion make at night? Roars. Yeah, roars. R-O-A-R-S. Good. Well done. Okay. Snow something on the ground last night. We never say excellent or excellent, everybody. Thank you. That's absolutely correct. Snow something on the ground last night. Trickled on the ground? Rained on the ground? No. What is it? What does snow do? There's only one word. Okay. We're talking about when it's coming down. Okay. Snow fell on the ground last night. Okay. F-E-L-L. To fall. Snow falls. Okay. Fell. Well done, Danielle. Good, excellent. My guess is that you're from Spain, Danielle. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. No. Sorry, from Italy. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant Italy. Okay. Our plane was the last plane in the world to take. Sorry, this is a verb. A plane takes something. Okay, so the verb plus something else. You can't, the plane lands, but the plane then goes up into the air. What's that called when it goes up into the air? It takes, our plane was the last plane in the world to take off. Correct, absolutely correct. Good, you're getting the hang of this. Okay, verb plus noun. Sometimes he got so frustrated that he wished he could. Something murder. When somebody kills somebody, they murder. It's a verb and then noun. Okay. Murder, and it goes together. That's what you will hear. The criminal, murder, last year. Okay, in 1994. Committed, that's right, committed, C-O-M-M-I-T-T-E-D. Well done. Okay. Then my bed every morning. Leave my bed? No, it's not leave. It's get out of my bed. Okay, so it's not just a noun, but there are some other words that go with it. I get out of my bed every morning. Well done, everybody. This is going really well, and I love your participation. Okay, so here we have a verb plus a prepositional phrase. Okay, the phrase here is run. Okay, so people have run. People stuck in airports across the world have run of money. Okay, to run of money means that you have no more money left. Got up. That's it. That's fine. That's fine. Danielle, now we're going to the run of money. Run out of money. That's it. Okay, that run out of money is a phrase that you're going to find just goes together. You don't use other words. There's nothing you can substitute it with. You can say cash, yes, but have run out of cash, yeah. He something into tears when he found out that the koalas were burning to death. He something into tears, he cried, when he found out that the koalas were burning to death. Okay. Run out, well done, Eduardo. Good. That's right. He burst into tears. He burst into tears when he found out that the koalas were burning to death. I hope that the Australian bushfires have now subsided. We haven't heard anything recently, but when you're saying somebody starts crying, you say they burst into tears. All right, that's a phrase that goes together, and we actually don't have any other words that you can substitute for that. Those go together. Bursting tears when you mean that somebody's crying. Well done. Okay. That boy is going to drive me too. When he's driving you crazy, he's really, really just getting into your hair, and I'm sure this is how many parents can relate to this. This boy is going to drive me too. That's right, drink. Okay, drive me to drink. Those are the words that go together. It's not quite an idiom, but it's a word that go together. Drive me to drink, meaning I'm quite desperate about his behavior, meaning that I will start drinking to numb the pain of how it is to deal with this person. Okay. All right. Then, I've actually given you the answers to this, okay? Verb plus adverb, vaguely remember. I vaguely remember. It doesn't matter, that's the other way around. I vaguely remember. Those go together. If you're talking about that you can remember only slightly. I vaguely remember climbing into bed. I was so tired. Okay. Then John whispered softly that he was completely spent. He was going to take a rest. Okay. Whispered and softly go together when you're talking about talking very, very, very quietly. Whispered softly, whispered quietly. You can't say anything too much else. Wouldn't ever say, you could say whispered loudly, but that's a bit strange. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, I'm doing a little bit of a worksheet. We're just going to take a few words and we're going to work them out in collocations, okay? So some of the words that go together surrounding that particular topic, okay? So let's do joke, okay? Because we all need jokes at this stage. Let's do something to do with joke. What does he do? He does a joke. He says a joke. What are some of the words that you can use, okay? So he does a joke, he says a joke. No, something else. Please tell me what the words is. He, a joke. makes a joke, tells a joke. That's correct. Well done. Absolutely excellent. Okay. Okay, then the next one. The boy was joking. All right. In other words, he was acting the class clown. He was joking. He was joking. It's one word. He was joking. That's right. He was joking around. We say people are joking around. Well done, everybody. You're excellent for the first session. The second line, the boy was joking around, around, acting the class clown. Okay, he was joking around. He wasn't taking anything seriously. He was just really just having fun. Okay, by joking around. All right, next one. She is so serious. She really can't a joke. And that's if somebody makes a joke about her. She really can't a joke. Okay. She really can't take a joke. Nobody can make a joke about her. All right. Nobody. That's right. Serena, that's it. She can't take a joke. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. Now the jokes did not work. The jokes, 2 words. Okay. The jokes just were completely, I'll tell you the second word, flat. The jokes, flat. Okay, the jokes. You're right. I can see everybody's answering the previous question so far. I know there's a time lag, so I do expect that. The jokes did not work. The jokes fell flat. F-E-L-L. And then the new word, flat, F-L-A-T. Okay, so he is not very bright, the next sentence. He really doesn't. There's several words you can use there. He really doesn't, the jokes we make. He's not very bright. He really doesn't understand. Get, that's it. He doesn't get the jokes. He just doesn't get the jokes. Carlo, well done. I guess you, no, I can't actually guess. I would probably say you're from Spain, aren't you? Yeah, most likely, but not necessarily. You might actually be from Italy, don't know. Okay, he doesn't get the joke. To fall flat means to fail. That's right, Danielle, that's right. Fall flat means to fail. In this particular context, we don't necessarily mean it. Say it with any other thing, just with jokes, okay? All right. Okay, now we're talking about work. All right, I don't know if you're Italian. Okay, good, well, welcome. Right. I did the donkey something, and talking about work. It's yes, donkey work. I don't know if they appreciate it. What is donkey work? And those 2 words go together. So we're just doing a worksheet, practicing all the words that go together of a particular topic, okay? Work. All right. I did the donkey work. I don't know if they appreciate it. The donkey work is the boring, mundane, not so nice work. It's just a bit tedious. So that's what donkey work is. All right. Okay. Okay. That piano, I'm giving you a clue. That piano weighs a ton. I'll have to employ a few men to do the work of lifting it. The work. What kind of work is it to lift a heavy piano? That's right, the heavy work. the heavy work of lifting it. So heavy work means work that involves labor, okay? And it's a collocation. There aren't any other, for that particular set of words, there aren't any other. If you want to use work, there aren't words that go together. Okay, so now, her job as a doctor, sorry, I don't know why I left that out, but anyway, let's say her job as a doctor involves a lot of okay, you won't know what that is yet. She has to walk a lot. What kind of work would that be? She has to walk a lot, meaning she has to work a lot. You could, by the way, say hard work, but when you're talking about something that's really heavy, you do heavy lifting means the labor, means the heavy work. In other words, all labor lifting. Okay, but we definitely say the heavy work. You can say hard work, but hard work has a broader range of meaning. Okay, her work as a doctor involves a lot of leg work, and it's one word, L-E-G, leg work, meaning she has to walk a lot. All right. So if something involves a lot of leg work, it means you're walking a lot. It doesn't, not necessarily your occupation. It can be a hobby, but if it involves a lot of leg work, walking a lot. Not talking about doing a marathon walk or anything like that. No, that would be not correct. This is leg work, meaning that it takes work to do a job. This kind of work is needed to do an activity or a job. Leg work is needed. A lot of walking is needed to do this particular activity or job, but we don't talk about it when we're talking about walking somewhere. All right. All right. Now this drug dealers would never, often use children to do their work. They would never lower themselves to do it. Okay. Drug dealers often use children to do their work. They would never lower themselves to do it. Let's see, have I got a comment yet? To do their dirty work. Their dirty work. All right. It's work that's not good. It's ugly. It's often illegal. Sometimes, say now, the sewage or cleaning the sewage or whatever would be dirty work. Okay. So, or sorry, or evil. We also refer to that as dirty work. Okay. So that goes together as well. All right. Well done, Danielle. Okay, let me just see here. Check something. Okay. Now I'm going to unshare this because I want to go back. I'm going to try and write on screen now. Okay. What I'm trying to do is actually, okay, just let me escape, sorry. There we go. I hope I can now share this and be able to write. Here we go. Okay. I think I'll be able to share this, who knows? Then I'll be able to write actually. Okay. Yes, I'll be able to write and you'll be able to see as I type. Now, what I'd like to do, and I'm going to have to move back and forth between slides, I would like you to suggest a topic for me. Then I can write sentences. So I'm going to start with a topic. I will see. What you can do, if you're really stuck, is you can go to the online Oxford Collocations Dictionary, okay? And you can actually type in, say, right. I'm going to just do that now so that I can show you how to use this. Okay. And right now, let's go to right. I want you to suggest a topic for me. That'll be really nice. And in the meantime, I'm going to write a little thing. Okay, so to talk about writing, I need to spell properly. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to go here. When you write very well, and everybody can read it, you talk about, she can write very, what's that? She can write very, what's that? Let's have a look. Okay. She can write very, okay, I'm going to fill it in quickly. Neatly. She can write very neatly. All right, so that's right. Then if you want to write something in your book, I will ask you to please write this, and you would mean in your book, okay? What's that? Write meaning in your book. Write this in your book. Well done. It's down, down. Write this down. Okay. Yes, write well, Danielle is Danielle is not bad. You can say she writes well. That's not a problem. But a collocation is to write neatly. Okay. Those are the words that often go together. Write well is also possible. Not a problem. Okay, write it down. Absolutely excellent, Helen. Okay, let's go. Okay. All right. Then we tell children that they have to, the children who were naughty had to write something, their lines. Okay. Oh. Had to write something, their lines. Let me see what your answers are. Okay. Had to write down their lines. No, sir, no, we've done that already. So what is it? It's write out their lines. They had to write out their lines. Okay, because that's a kind of punishment when you give children lines to write. They have to write out their lines and write them out and write them out. Okay, that's what we call that's what we call a collocation. That's a particular meaning that we give to that when children are naughty and you give them lines to write out. Okay, then okay, let's see what else. Okay. Okay, when you are writing a topic, okay, let's go. If you have a particular topic to write about, then she writes journalism in the 20th century. Okay, she writes that's right. About, that's right. Okay, let's see if you've given me a topic to write. Well done, well done. Okay, good. Okay, so Angel, you want me to write about politeness. Choose the topic of politeness. Okay, let's see. Oh, let me see if we've got some here. I don't know if we have, but I'm going to see. Okay, that's right. Okay. There are different words we use. Okay, so I'm using the dictionary to help to spur ideas in my own mind. But if you want to, you can go through your own on your own, obviously, if you need to see what we put together. Okay, so she, a very polite person. Okay, she, a very polite person. That's right, is. All right, or seems. Okay, not a problem. I'm going to write that now. Or sounds, or yeah. Okay. We also say she is scrupulously polite. What is scrupulous? Okay. This is a very, she is very, very, she goes to the smallest detail in her politeness. She goes to the tiniest detail. She's scrupulously polite. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, have you? Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of the phrase, she's scrupulously polite. She's scrupulously polite. You can also say, she was extremely or very or unfailingly polite. Okay. She is unfailingly polite. Okay. Good. Let me think, anything else? Yeah, I think that's mostly what we can do. Let's see if there's another topic or word. Yeah, scrupulous can mean a harsh way. Okay, it can mean harsh, something very harsh. But in this sense, when you're talking about politeness, you are not being harsh. It's just about attention to the tiniest, minutest detail of politeness. Okay, so very much so, you're right. Scrupulous or unscrupulous actually is not a nice word. But when you mean scrupulous, you mean attention to detail, particularly when you're talking about politeness. Okay. Unscrupulous means a man who has no scruples. In other words, he has no morals, no ethics, no standards by which to judge society. Okay. Right, now, are there any other words you want me to choose? I wanted you to choose this time, you see, to choose in terms of collocations. I'm going to try and look at some others here. Okay, let's do an idea. Idea has quite, bring it into the business world. Let's do idea. Okay, just let me find it, sorry. Okay, so he had a idea, meaning a good idea. You can use good idea. What would you put in the middle there? What would you put in the middle? Meaning he had a good idea. You can use he had a good idea. It might be ever so slightly boring, okay? Might be ever so slightly boring. So what kind of idea would he have? He had a bright, so I'm going to write here now. He had a bright idea. He had a brilliant idea, an excellent idea. What else? But bright is very, it's a very cheerful kind of thing to say. Bright, very clever. It's just saying it's very clever and it's spot on. Yeah, it's a very good compliment. All right. Marvelous idea. Valuable idea, exciting idea. All right. Okay. Then if you're talking about a bad idea, what would you use? If you're talking about a bad idea. Okay. Wonderful, incredible, good, brilliant, great, absolutely All of them can be used. Fantastic. Okay. But when you say he had a bad idea, there's some that you won't be aware of. There are some of them that you won't be aware of. Okay, so mistaken. If you're being very polite. Crackpot. If you're not being so polite. Crazy. He had a crazy idea. Okay, terrible, awful, absolutely perfect, good. A crackpot is a crackpot idea is just a crazy idea. It's a bad idea. It's really just never going to work. Okay, well, you don't think it's going to work. Okay, so good, excellent, ridiculous, absurd. His idea was very absurd. Okay, very absurd. Okay. You can also speak of an outlandish idea. It's also crazy, 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 crazy. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the words that you would not be. Wacky, wacky. You're not so familiar with wacky. It also just means crazy. Okay, let's see any other. Crackpot, no, it isn't a slang word. It isn't actually even a colloquialism. It is an accepted word. Yeah, Raspa, good. I don't know where you're from, Raspa. Let me know where you're from. You got some very good ideas. Yeah, good. All right, let's go back to the workplace. Let's talk about meetings. Okay. Or to meet, let's see. No. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the word to meet. Okay. Now, if we're going to talk about to meet, all right. If we're going to say we're going to get together, again, that's a collocation, get together, then, but using the word meet, what do you think we use? That's right. We meet, let's meet up. Let's meet up. That's what we say. It's a collocation, all right? Then if you want to say you by accident meet somebody, okay? Let me just put there accidental. It was a chance meeting, okay? And of course I type wrongly, A-N, there we go. It was a chance meeting. Okay, it was a chance meeting, meaning you meet by chance, by accident, okay? There's no planning involved. Okay. Obviously, you know the phrase, it's nice to meet you, so I'm not going to say that. And I look forward to meeting you. That's also something you know, okay? Then let's use it. Okay, if you're going to talk about a challenge and you're going to really face a challenge, you're really going to face and solve this challenge. Let me just check for comments here. Ah, good, Raspa, welcome. And it's your first class, fantastic. I hope that you continue for the whole week. It'll be lovely to have you. Okay, all right. So the team decided to meet the challenge. What would the two words be? What would the two words be that follow that? Do you know? If you really want to meet the challenge and you want to kind of butt heads with it, okay? What do you want to do with the challenge? You want to? The team decided to meet the challenge. Oh, head on. Well done. Head on. Okay. So meeting the challenge head on. Okay. Now, let me go back. Right. If you are talking about right, having targets which you have failed to attain, you would say he failed to meet the target. Okay, he failed to meet the target or to reach the target. Okay, but we're talking about meet here, so we're just telling you what you can say with meet. All right, and then also when you look somebody in the eye, when you look someone in the eye, you meet someone in the eye. Okay, because you're looking at them unflinchingly. Or you meet, just a moment, this is better. You meet his, what word would you use? You meet his, that's a noun. You meet his, let me just check. That's right. Gaze, gaze, okay, G-A-Z-E. Okay, you meet his gaze. All right, that means you don't, this is very cultural. Some cultures, it's not polite to look somebody in the eye, but you meet his gaze, you are not afraid of his challenge normally. You are just staring back at him. He's staring at you, you're staring back at him. Okay. Yeah, and then, okay, when meet has the meaning of matches the standards, you say that face mask meets the standard. Okay, so it reaches the goal, it reaches the standard. Okay, good. All right, are there any other topics? Well done. Okay, good, Raspa. Thank you for your contributions. Okay, all right. And then if you saying that if you're saying that you catch somebody's eye, okay, their eyes met across the room. Okay, so if you catch somebody's eye from over there, their eyes met across the room, or our eyes met across the room. Okay, it's normally in romantic novels that you'll find that. Okay, food. Okay, let's do food. Yeah, I often have food pictures on my my slides so that you'll feel hungry and go and eat. All right. Okay. Now we're going to talk about food. So the topic, everybody, is food. Spell it correctly, please. Thank you. Okay. So let me just make this a bit bigger. I think it needs to be expanded a bit. Here we go. And for some reason, there is no white underneath that. I'm going to have to expand that as well, I think. Okay, just a moment. I'll write on the left. How's that? Okay, here we go. That's it. And I'll go to the left here. All right, so obviously food can be delicious, excellent, good, superb, tasty, wonderful, favorite, decent, adequate, enough, sufficient, okay? And then if you talk about adequate, you've had enough, it's ample. There's also basic food, staple food. Now that is one word that the staple food of Italy is pizza and pasta. And if you were, you see, I do need to do that. If you were here recently, why don't we use the article? You tell me. Why don't we use the article with pizza and pasta? The staple food of Italy is pizza and pasta. It means it's the most common everyday kind of item. Okay. All right. Why don't we use the article with pizza and pasta? Okay. Because it's in this sense, it's not countable. All right. You can't count how much pizza and pasta everybody uses. So it's an uncountable noun. And it is not specific. It's not a small group of pizza and it's not a small group of pasta. So we use no article because it's uncountable and it's non-specific general. All right. Okay, just so that just to remind you of the earlier, those of you who want to go back to the use of the article, you can rewind the session, by the way, just in case you didn't know. At the end of this, you can rewind the session. Okay, all right, now, okay, now if you're talking about very special foods, what could we say about very special foods? The food is very, let me go back to your comments. Daniel, I know that. It's just, yeah. The Italians tell me that that's the main foods. Okay, so it's the basic. When you're talking about staple, it's the basic. If everything else was taken away, you couldn't take away that particular thing. Okay. So, special. Okay. So, if you want to talk about a very special kind of food, you can talk about exotic. The food is very exotic. It's an exotic menu. The food is exotic. You can talk about it's a specialty dish. It's a specialty food or a specialty dish. Okay, good. Okay, it's gourmet food. All right, it's gourmet food. Okay, it's gourmet food. I wonder if some of you are going to ask me a question about the article that I've used and haven't used. Okay, the food is very nutritious. The food is nutritious. I wish I could type well. Nutritious. Okay, let me check any comments. Staple means typical. It means the basic. As I said, if everything else, the food was delicious. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Paco. Well done. Staple is if everything else was taken away, that's what you depend on to survive. That's your most basic food. Everything else can be taken away, but not that. In South Africa, most of the people depend on maize. In France, it might be bread. I don't know. Yeah, just the basic, very, very basic thing that you need the most to survive. Okay. Let's see. Or of course, we get fast food, junk food, snacks, takeaways. They all mean the same thing. All right, then we also talk about, sorry, come to the right one. Food that's easy to, food that is easy to just heat up is convenience food. Okay, convenience food. Any comment? Okay. Interesting. Good. Okay, and then we have processed food, meaning food that's been not just raw materials, but you've done something to it. You get processed cheese, not ordinary cheese. It's that sort of those slices that have had lots of stuff added to them, and they you use them in like slices. I don't know how to, it's processed cheese. It's been through the factory. It's not just been produced by the producer. Processed food, what else would you say? Any kind of spicy sausage is a processed food. Yeah. All right. Okay, rabbit food. What's rabbit food? What is rabbit food? Who knows what rabbit food is? Yes, you can say nourishing food. Yeah, food, nourishing or nutritious, either. Yeah, nourishing, the food is very nourishing. We wouldn't tend to use it before, although it's not wrong, but we wouldn't tend to use it before. We would say the food is very nourishing. We would say nutritious, okay, if it's before the word food. Okay, I think I'm going to have to stop there. I'll let you know what rabbit food is. It's normally something like lettuce or greens or something like that. That's raw. Many people don't like rabbit food. It's food that they deem beneath them. It's not very, they don't think it's very nice. They think only, that's right, carrots, things like that people really don't like. That's what it's all about. Rabbit food is like lettuce, carrot, things that like sometimes men just don't like salad at all. They think it doesn't fill them up. It's rabbit food. They don't consider it nutritious. They don't consider it filling, and they don't like it at all. So thank you for joining me, everybody. It's been really nice conversing with you. And do remember that I'm back on Wednesday, where I will be teaching on the articles. I know it says pronunciation, but I'm going to go back to articles. And then, yeah, I'll see you then. And yeah, have a lovely week. Take care and look after yourselves. And if you want to book a lesson with me, you can see it on the screen now. 5669 908 is my number on italki. Well done, everybody, and thank you. Bye.